You can count on it. You can count on it. You can count on me. You can count on me too. You can count on it. You can.
So, you know.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
Okay, cool.
Man, I want to say, I'll say it on, whenever we get started, I want to just say, the review, man, thank you.
Oh.
Over the last podcast?
Yeah.
Bruh.
Yeah, man.
Like,
That was mad. I missed that shit.
Yeah. When he told us about it, I was like, oh,
that's
shit.
why I'm glad he did it.
Yeah.
Because I wanted, like, because low key, and
Redo
I'll say this, like, off record, like, so I had 100 spots to fill, right? Initially, I had like a small guest list of like my people, right?
Yeah.
Then I opened it up to opened it up to the public at 11 a.m. By 10 p.m. that night, I only had 3 spots left.
Damn.
Wow.
So I called my manager and was like, bruh, the next day, like, we need to, like, add on. No, it was 5 p.m. that day. I was like, bro, we need to add on because these numbers are going, like, down.
Crazy. Yeah.
She was like, don't add another 100. Add another 50 because we want to make it, like, exclusive.
Still, yeah. And, still
And when
intimate.
people miss out, they be like, man, I should have been there.
Exactly. Exactly.
It's
Call this shit over.
So, you know, and I think I just looking at the numbers, it was like $120 out of $150. I was expecting like 20 to 30 people not to show up.
Of course.
Because
yeah.
the fair and it was free and niggas probably forgot or whatever.
Yeah, exactly,
But we
yeah.
had like it was like $118, $120, something like 21 or something like that showed up.
Okay.
But man, like I was not expecting that, number one. And number two, it shows me you own your shit, nigga.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I've done a few podcasts before, but I didn't really know like you was doing a podcast. Like, this is a podcast. And then like when I saw the email, because like Miranda handles all like everything.
Yeah. She's
like,
great too.
Yeah, she's crazy
She's
good.
great. Yeah, she's
and,
great.
And so I saw the email. And she was like, just check it out because they got some certain things. And I was like, oh, I thought I was doing a podcast. And I looked at all of what I was like, oh, this nigga on his shit.
Yeah. We be working.
Y'all on y'all shit.
Yeah.
And so it's just like, oh, nah, he for real about this. And it's professional and it looks fun. It looks.
Yeah.
That's why I asked. I was like, "Are we doing a temperature check?"
Oh,
yeah.
Fire. Like, so when I heard the review and the way you described it, like my wife was just like when she heard it, because she's very like picky when it comes to people how they present stuff, and she listened to it and she was like, "Wow." It made her happy all over again. But she was just like, "This dude, like." You are really about the culture and about art and about making sure people like know about it.
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah.
And
He sold it hard to us. Like we were just like when he was telling that,
and the
we
way
were like,
you sold
whoa.
it.
Sold it.
I was in pure awe. I was like, yo, this shit
Because I could
sound dope
see,
as
like when he was
hell.
describing it,
Like,
I could see it. I was just like, holy
exactly.
shit.
because a lot of people can't like.
He was descriptive.
I just left somewhere like people. It was one of those events where there was so much going on, but you couldn't tell subliminally. Like you could the way I put it together, it was like there's a lot going on, but the way I'm doing it, you're gonna be immersed in it to where you don't realize there's so much going on right now.
Yeah.
And so the way you described it, because a lot of people were telling me, like a few people told me, it was like I was trying to describe it to somebody else and I couldn't really. And the way you described it and the way you sold it, it was just like. Damn, this nigga like really was on his like reporter.
Like he articulated it.
Went there like
y'all should have been there.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he was hype. He was hype.
I was,
So-
bro, because I came to him.
And it was inspirational to you. That's what you were saying.
Yeah, I came to him like right after. Like as soon as I left, we came back to the studio. He was already here. I was like, nigga. That shit was crazy.
Yeah.
Well, we have been doing it wrong.
We gotta go back to the drawing.
we gotta
I, look,
Nah,
bro,
man.
I love when I see something and it's like, all right, bro, it's time to reformulate some shit.
Yeah.
When I do my album listening, I
Yeah.
will be getting you in
Hey,
on
man,
that. Have
hit me
to.
up. Yeah, man. Like,
Yeah.
because it's like, I want to see great shit in the
Yeah.
area. You know, I want to see, Cause it's like, man, like I feel like just North Carolina as a whole, and I know I'm kind of getting off topic, but North Carolina as a whole is just kind of like, bro, like we're like right there to becoming like the state that, like in Atlanta or New York or Cali, like we're like
At the cusp.
we're right there.
Yeah, we're on the
you know
cusp.
what I'm saying? And it's like
2020 is gonna pop.
Yeah.
we'll talk afterwards. Like I'm gonna tell you some stuff that I'm actually doing with some key people, very key people in the area.
Okay.
That we want to do for the area next year, like artists and stuff. So,
Okay.
But yeah, man, like hit me up like whenever you're ready. We could talk about it. We could try to figure out whatever. But because I want to see. Like, we need greatness to be shown.
Yeah. 100%.
Not just from one person.
Yeah.
But from the people who are passionate about it and want to put the time in. Because a lot of niggas don't want to
They
put
want
the
that.
time.
They want the. They just want the clout, bro.
They just,
Yeah.
that's it.
That's all they want.
They don't want the work.
That's all they want. And it's so funny. Let's open this up real quick.
Okay,
I'm still
yeah.
gonna
We
put
started
the beginning-
thing.
I'm gonna put that beginning part in here still. But
Yeah, man.
We'll do the
I want
official
people
intro.
to know, like, yo,
Yeah, we'll do the official intro.
y'all
right
on
now.
y'all shit.
Thanks, man.
Hey, so welcome.
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 She just took a big swig, by the way. Yeah.
To the Three Oak Podcast, where even the artists can be fans. AJ the Menace.
Shane M. Petty.
And Cherry TNT.
And today we have with us the man himself, Brother Pat Jr. is in the building.
The legend.
Everybody breathe. Hey, man. But yeah, we were just talking about North Carolina as a whole. We was chopping it up. We just did, we wanted to officially bring y'all into our conversation.
Yeah.
But we want to thank you for coming through, man.
Yeah.
Man.
Appreciate
And
it.
yeah, this is long. It's like when it's so funny that you were talking about like you're on our shit and stuff like that because it's so many people in the area that doing what we're doing, but it's not that many people I feel like that I look at and I get inspired by.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And to know that you were so close to so many of the circles of friends that I have, but we just never met.
Right.
And
Yeah.
then my first real introduction to you was Twitter one.
Right,
But
right.
then like going into your world, I was like, oh, this is fire.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Thank
Like,
you, man.
and I'm like, yes, I have a new connect that I can hit up.
Yeah.
And we on that state. Like, I can
Yeah.
tell by the music, this is the type of brother that it's more than we can do more than business. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I can easily see myself being friends with him, and
Yeah.
then business is just gonna be boom. All right,
Yeah,
let's get
for
this
sure.
done. You know what I mean? Like,
I didn't remember you. I told you because you asked me, "Is like, hey, do you know him?" I was like, "Oh, I never met him in person, but I discovered you from. I think you commented on our Descendants Soul video. Soul video because I directed that and Be More. And you commented and you just like said some great shit, and then I started following you from that. So, but we never. This is our first time meeting in person. So.
yeah.
So I told you we were just like close in the vicinity, but we just never really like met up with each other. All of us,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's all like that.
Yeah.
But today it is. Let's jump into the future because we do release on Wednesday, and so today is November 6th.
Yeah,
your
pretty
album's
much.
out, man.
Yeah, pretty much.
Congratulations! I thought I knew. How do you feel?
Congratulations.
I feel great. I feel a burden has been lifted.
Yeah.
Relief.
Yep. You can breathe.
Man, like, so in 2016, when I did Learning to Live in the Day, when I put that album out, it was like I told my homies literally after the listening, because I had a listening party not too far from here.
Okay.
In 2016, it was called In the Groove Records at the time.
I remember hearing it, but I never been though.
Right.
But I remember that name though.
Right, but
Yeah.
now it's lo-fi or lo-hi sound off records. Yeah, sound off records and I think it's like lo-fi. Please don't forgive me for butchering that name.
Yeah.
But like when I made that record, it was a lot of vinyl samples, so I went there to get a lot of inspiration. So I'm always like, let me bring people back to where I started making this record. So we had it at the record store.
Got you. Okay.
Yeah, so I had like my homie Tony G do like a beat set on the SP404. Slums, my homie Slums did a beat set, and then I played the album. But it was also a visual experience as well. Like we had a projector, and like I was snagging clips from like anime and different stuff that went along with it,
with
and
the
had
records
it,
and stuff.
and had it like on the projector on the back wall.
Fire.
So like,
And how long ago was this?
this was in 2016.
Okay.
So after the album was finished, because I did like a rollout on Instagram and some like short movie kind of stuff, real short like film-esque, like cinema-esque type stuff.
Yeah.
But after I finished it, I was like, I am not doing another fucking album for a while. It's like,
Yeah.
because it's when I do an album, as you can see, like
You put a lot into it.
I put a lot into
Yeah,
it.
yeah, bro,
And
100%.
so, you know, when
Which
we
is
did,
why I think I'm going EP this time.
Yeah.
I got 4 of the
I mean,
things. I'm still going to create a storyline and have a concept.
Do it.
Yeah.
But just because I think everything that's coming out as a body of work is supposed to have some sort of storyline and concept.
And imagine it takes a lot out of you,
Yeah,
too, right?
but a whole album's even harder. Especially an album like this, I thought I knew. Like, when you hear that, you're like, boy, you going through something. And
On the last
about to
track,
tell
you
it,
could
know?
feel the sweat.
Yeah.
yeah, so like I feel relieved because everything that I dreamed up for the project is still coming to life.
Yeah, yeah.
But it finally, I got it out of my head.
Yeah,
You know what
yeah.
I'm saying? And it's on record and everything. So I feel like I feel better. It's like
Yeah.
Feel good. Yeah, it's like
there's still work to be done.
it's still a lot of work, but at least the product is there now. So now,
Yeah,
only
that's the
work that
best
needs to
part.
be done now is the live performances, that artistic
The promotion
part,
of
and
it.
the promotion, and marketing
Yeah.
and promotion.
Now, interesting enough, you brought the live performances out. I want to do some other things too. So some other experiences. I haven't really planned them out yet, but just a heads up, like the experience for the album is not it's not over.
Okay, good, good.
So we thought about it doing another listening session like the one we had, but we
Yeah.
were gonna I'm thinking about possibly doing it somewhere else
Okay,
in another state, because I know some homies in South Carolina, and one of them, she was supposed to come to the event, and I was like, well, what about, and she was like, oh, for real?
yeah.
She was like, I love that. Like we need to hook that up. So I'm thinking about doing it again. But not that the other experiences for the album it's not over yet. So
Okay, yeah.
So you have a different vibe. So you have like different ideas for the same album, but just different
it's
vibes.
gonna be different, like context, like subject matter. I'll say that.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
To like, cause there's so many layers to the album, you know.
It can be broken into different parts and
Yeah.
whole worlds. Yeah.
Yeah. So, like-
we're gonna talk about that once we like
For
really
sure.
dive deep
Yeah,
into
but
it.
I feel good, man. Go
Yeah.
stream it. I thought I knew. Out everywhere now.
Pat Jr.
Buy it if you want to.
Yeah. Show that real support.
Yeah.
You know? So wait, real quick. So you was already doing in 2016 album listenings at this level too. Cause I knew this was not your
Yeah.
first rodeo.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? Like,
yeah.
You come out of the box just doing this shit? Like,
I'm
what the fuck?
Yeah, so you was already killing it back in 2016. Where I've never taken live listen. I've never listened.
wait-
I've never taken album listening seriously. Where did you even like?
Get the inspiration to
Yeah,
even
like
for,
do-
like, the visual,
to
like,
come up with that
visual-wise,
type
yeah.
of listening
I love
party.
y'all, man. Y'all
Yeah.
so dope.
What?
Like, y'all these questions y'all asking. I'm like,
What is your social security number?
Hey, just real quick, these questions I got a 5.
Yeah.
We just getting started.
So, okay. So this kind of goes back to last year. Now, mind you, so I was waiting for so long. There was a lot of people behind the scenes. Well, not a lot, but there was a few people behind the scenes that I really wanted to like put out there in the open and
Okay.
be like, this is them in the flesh. This is who they are.
Yeah, because
So-
you definitely did that to your producer, your homeboy.
Exactly. That's what I was getting to.
Yep.
My homie D Still, my mentor, my big brother, like,
He completely snapped.
yeah, yo,
snapped. Yeah.
So one of my biggest songs that I perform is "Stepping Out the Batcave,"
Okay.
and because it's just live, it's just crazy.
Yeah.
Like I remember in the top of 2017 when the first time I opened up for Cooley High when we did that song, people were like, "Yo, what the fuck?" Like because it just knocks so hard and it goes in. And he produced that. Like we co-produced some records, and he produced that one. And so, but anyway, he was there. But last year was our first time. We've known each other for, I want to say, since 2012, 13. Okay. But last year was the first time us meeting in person.
Damn, really?
So, like, he met me at a very crucial time of my life where I was younger, emotional, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Figuring out who I am as a man. I was a hothead.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And like I remember a specific phone conversation, and I said it at the listening session, like our conversation we had, he said, you know what, man, I realized that God has placed me in your life to be like help you in life, like help you in your life journey, whatever that looks like. And we're going to make some great music together. So this album was a long time coming. And last year, we talked all the time.
Yeah.
So meeting him was not awkward.
Yeah.
It was
'Cause
first
I know
time-
you.
Yeah. Like the first time we met, it's just like, oh, what's up, man? Like, what's going on? So I had, at that time, like, I didn't even know when we were producing the project, I didn't even know what the album was going to be called.
Okay.
I didn't
You were
know.
just putting tracks together at this point.
That's it. Like, I didn't know what the fuck. I worked on some production, but I didn't know what I was gonna be talking about.
Yeah.
Like, so we were sitting down having the conversation, and like Big Brother, that was like the only one, and it was the only needed conversation, the Big Brother little brother conversation, where he didn't make me feel small, but he made me realize I got a lot to learn, and I thought I knew what I was doing. Oh.
Boom, bow.
You don't know shit.
This is what the album is going to be about.
Yeah.
So I instantly, if you look at the cover of the album, I replaced the Thinker statue. Like if you, the Thinker, right? The Thinker statue is that same same
like that.
pose, and the album cover itself, it says so much. Like in a black man, like as a statue. In a modern museum that big, like, you know, and a little black boy looking at him like who is this dude? Like he looks like me. You know what I'm saying? So there's so many layers to that cover, but like
representation,
right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So like, I was like, okay, this is what the album is going to be about. And from that, like the Thinker statue. So the Thinker statue was an art piece created in the 19th century, like in that art line, right? Yeah. And so. All of the art was inspired by 19th century. So you're talking about Picasso.
Yeah.
Okay, because that's one of my questions. I was wondering where that inspiration came from.
Funny enough, so funny enough, Picasso's was painting in the 19th century, like doing a lot of work, right? Funny enough, the inspiration but kind of came from Jay-Z's Picasso Baby documentary / music video.
Yeah.
So that was like a huge like inspiration to me because. You know, Jay-Z is one of my favorites. Yeah. But like having that art inception of like, so you have Jay-Z rapping right in the middle, right? And then you have these designers, fashion designers, graphic designers, architects, rappers, singers, dancers, all sitting in like this stool in front of him watching him rap. And then you have that whole large crowd around him watching them. So it's like a live art exhibit in it. Like it's like an Inception almost. Like you know what I mean? Yeah. So that's where part of the inspiration for the listening party came from.
Okay. Got you.
So
that
it's
makes sense.
Yeah, so it's just like from that, you know, from the art, like I did not heavy studying of 19th century art, but like there's a method to my madness because like I was posting, like some people ask me like why are you posting these paintings? Like a couple of people was like, yo, these paintings are dope. Like, why are you posting them? And I was just like, just
wait.
Just wait.
Wait on it.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
So I was posting like a lot of the names, the dates, because I love seeing color palettes and how things look. Like I'm in the film, like that's one of my main sources of inspiration. So like I was posting a lot of that stuff just to see how it would look. Yeah. And then once I sat down with Melissa. Who worked with my sister on like so when I announced them at the listening session, it was like they worked together. To me, if somebody do 30% or 20% of the work, y'all work together on it.
Yeah.
But Melissa was like the main spearhead of the paintings or whatever. But like we sat together, her, me, and my sister. She brought a bunch of books over, and we just looked through a bunch of art.
Yeah.
Like, and then I saw one particular artist, and I was like, this guy right here. Like,
Yeah.
and so that's kind of like the majority of what you see throughout the paintings.
Yeah.
So yeah, I that's kind of like where the inspiration of the whole theme,
putting putting
just
that
the whole
party
art
together.
theme, like
Yeah.
artist
Like his
life.
overall styles.
Yeah,
Okay,
just
gotcha.
like type theme or whatever.
Now
Yeah.
something you mentioned at the listening party, and then you brought up again. How important is it to have that black representation and
Yeah.
almost a family vibe and culture that you bring together? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because that's what I was saying about the review. It was like the type of people you attract, that energy you attract. These people in the room are like, bro, I'm friendly. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? So I felt that from the strangers that I didn't even know.
Yeah.
But it's like, how important is that to have black people behind you and running, and making sure that they're all in party in that
Yeah.
representation in a positive light.
Very much so. Because I think when I think about like, so hip hop has a big place in just media culture, period, right?
100%, yeah. It controls it
However,
almost.
I'm seeing, I want to see, like, I'm looking forward. That's like, so when Jordan Peele started making movies,
Yes.
I was so excited.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because it's like, yo, we have a super dope black writer. Not to say there hasn't been other ones.
Yeah.
Right.
But there are certain spaces where I want to see more artists or creatives, like not just in music, but beyond the music,
Yeah.
like in the sound design world, right? There's not a lot of black representation
True.
in the sound design world.
That's
Like
true.
when I talk about sound design, so like right now there's been a resurgence of like a homie of mine, he's Latino. He had a sample. So he created a sample that landed on Kanye's album. So that's what's been happening. I think it kind of happened around the time of Drake's 0 to 100.
Gotcha.
So Frank Dukes,
was
the name,
like
does that
16.
ring a bell? Frank
Yeah, it
Dukes.
does,
So
yeah.
like Frank Dukes creates samples for other producers to sample, like to use in their
He's
work.
selling like sample packs.
He does the
He's
sample
creating
packs,
the
but then he
sample.
also behind the scenes like creates samples for other producers to use because you run into the whole issue of
Clearing the
clearance,
sample. Yeah.
right?
Oh, that's a great.
So
lane to
Pelham
be in.
Jr., the company that I work with, my homie JP, like we actually like do the same thing. We make samples for other people
Yeah.
to like use, but in the sound design like field, there's not a lot of black representation
Right.
like in the corporate level.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because we're on Splice and all that stuff, but there's not a lot of black representation there, and so it just brings joy to my heart to see not just music beyond, because we're represented well in music already.
Exactly,
That's been a given.
But on the back end side, you're not as much.
Just
Yeah,
different,
we're in the front, but
right?
more
Yeah,
in the
just
back.
different lanes. You know, from wardrobe, or maybe I'm not knowledgeable enough, but just seeing more in the forefront, like this person is one of the greatest wardrobe,
this, yeah.
Yeah.
or wardrobe, designers or whatever the case. So this person is one of the like in black representation being there,
Yeah. Facts.
especially black women.
Yes. Yes.
So seeing like Issa Rae,
Yeah.
like going crazy
On
Yeah.
HBO,
and killing
right?
it,
Yes,
it's
yeah.
like yes,
And then the Black Girl sketch show.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Sketch show. Yeah.
yeah,
got that on.
Black woman sketch show.
Yeah, so it's just kind of like seeing black representation, especially black women, when like being in the forefront now more. And I wanted to highlight that, like I had two black women design my art.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that it meant like so much for me to say that. I wanted to highlight that. And I
Yes.
know for some of the room, for like our white counterparts, it made them a
Exactly.
little uncomfortable
And
when we were at the listening.
Yeah, when I saw that, I said, I like that.
He was
like this guy.
like, he's like, my nigga.
I like that guy. Yeah, I like that type of
Yeah,
energy.
so
yeah.
it's really important, man, to me to highlight those things because, like, we've seen it even starting with Elvis. We've been stolen from, pigeonholed, so like so much.
Yes, man.
That's why I be going so hard on Cherry. So Cherry, she gets with us. Last night she was recording the record, and it's like we just be behind her like, nope,
No,
that ain't it.
change it.
Yeah.
Nah, try this.
It's just 'cause,
All right, that sound all right. Now try this again.
Okay, I like what you're doing now. You're doing good. You know?
Good.
But it's like, I see so much for her. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like, I'm going to make sure you out here polished down. You know
That's-
what I'm saying?
I
Like,
love that, man.
Yeah, like,
I
you
love
got,
that.
yeah, yo.
That's
Me
dope.
and Leanne have done it to each other enough to be able to teach somebody else.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
listen to them boys.
I really do. Like it just helps me grow as a artist and as a writer because I do kind of get stuck in one thing, and they just like stop. No,
Right.
let's take it back. Let's try this.
Think about
okay,
it-
I
think
don't
about
like
it from
that.
this
Let's
way.
try something else. So
Yeah.
yeah, it definitely
Think
makes
about
me
it from this way,
exactly.
yeah.
It makes me think about just different outlets, just different ways I could go with my flow. So
Yeah,
I appreciate it.
I think we've been seeing that this year with black female artists too, like Tierra Wax. She's incredible.
That's my
Yeah.
baby.
It's been a lot of female
incredible.
artists,
Love
but
her.
it's been so many, and a lot of them dropped off too already.
Yeah, they have.
That's true, but
Yeah.
we've seen some that have
Really
many-
stand out, of
really
course.
stand
Yeah,
out.
yeah.
Tierra
in
Whack is
rap.
like one of the ones.
She's one of them.
She's just so creative. Like, what was it? Whack World was just. How do you make a 15-minute album like a minute songs a minute each?
You
Like,
talk about shit that make you go back and be like,
bro.
I need to figure this out again.
Yeah.
When I saw that, I was like,
Wait,
And
she
then-
made a 15-track
She made,
album?
bro. This what you remember. This was like one of my first episodes that I did with y'all.
Yeah.
She was like She was like on my Ride Out song, and I was telling you like, so
think I
Whack
remember
World
that.
was like 15 minutes long. She toured on this album and everything.
Yeah.
Each song was a minute.
I was
she only
wondering
played a
how-
snippet of the song. These are full songs, but she only played a minute
Oh.
snippet.
yeah. So how did she perform on tour though? Where her
She
set's
was-
only 15 minutes?
She was opening for Meek, and she was performing, and then she would leave and go back to her security job.
Oh,
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, she was a security
Well, I
guard.
was asking like how. So her album is only 15 minutes long, but how long was her set?
I'm
just
guessing it had to be. I guess I don't
Like,
know.
she's
She
got
had,
other
she had to do the
singles,
whole.
too.
Yeah, she had to do the
and
whole
she
set.
could, yeah, and then the talking
like
between
20 minutes.
maybe.
It was probably
Yeah.
like 20.
And she probably had like
25
some
minutes.
stupid visuals because the visual for Whack World was it's literally a 15-minute video. It plays every song. It's
But the way she laid it out on her Instagram though,
Oh, I need to see that.
so
her
like
aesthetic is just.
it's
I got
wild.
chills. Like she is fire.
Me too.
She is fire. She
haven't
is
seen the
so
film.
fire,
Yeah.
and I don't feel like she's getting the recognition she deserves right now because she's dark skinned, and I hate that shit.
I think
She's
Cardi
not-
shouted her out.
agree.
Yeah, Cardi
Cardi
did shout her
shouted her
out. Yeah,
out.
Cardi definitely
Same
shouted
thing
her
with
out.
Rhapsody. Like,
Yeah,
Rhapsody.
I love
Yeah.
Rhapsody.
Yeah, Rhapsody's
Rhapsody
coming
shouted
up.
me out on my first single
That's
on
dope.
Twitter. Like I was like,
dope.
she was like, "Yo, keep doing you."
Yeah.
and I was
Yeah.
like, "Bitch,
Say less.
I like to
I
see
fucking
that.
love you.
Yeah, I
that
like
shit
to
was
see that.
fire." Yeah.
The not in hip hop, but Lizzo.
Yeah.
Lizzo, yeah.
Yeah.
Lizzo's going
Yeah,
crazy.
she's like like
she's
pop.
so
hip-hop,
dope,
yeah.
man.
Bro, those opening bars are amazing.
Because I just took a DNA
I just took a
test.
DNA
Turns out I'm
test.
100%
But
that
wait a minute,
bitch.
do you know she got that from a tweet?
and gave them the credit
Yeah.
for it.
That's
fire.
Yeah.
Got
She
it
just
from a-
gives me like she gives me Missy vibes. Yeah, that's why I
Yeah.
kinda
Her
like
and Tierra do.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I gotta
Yeah.
dive more into this Tierra Whack.
You
though.
please do.
Yeah.
Like even her, I
Yeah.
know. I don't know what she's going to do with Whack World. I don't know if she's ever going to release the full songs, but it's
Yeah.
at least like 5 songs off that album that I'm like, give me
Yeah.
the fucking
Yeah.
whole thing. Like
Yeah,
it's
yeah, I
crazy.
need
Like her
that.
flow is ridiculous. Like her cadence is crazy. Like she rap fast, she rap
Yeah.
slow.
Yeah, she's
like
dope, man.
and like like really, it's just the visuals. Like the visual imagery on that album is so crazy because each song is different.
Yeah.
So it's like she changes the entire scene, but it makes it flow. So like she'll be going in one room, she finishes the song, walk into another room, whole different scene.
Oh, see,
Yeah.
that's
Like so, it's like
That's
you know,
crazy.
kind of like in middle. Like I remember, like in elementary school, we would have to like take a story and like find objects that fit in that story.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
That's
yeah,
kind
I
of how she
forgot
did. So
about
she
that.
had some like
That's a
song
great
called A Bug's
analogy.
Life, and she
Yeah.
had like bugs in the video. Like talk about a ladybug. Here's a ladybug. Talk about a dog. Here's a picture of a dog. Type
Yeah.
shit.
Oh,
Like,
Yeah,
damn.
it's dope.
It's really fucking
So
dope.
like, just to that point, like creating those memorable moments, but in different like facets of art. Like I just feel like it's so important to be represented in more than just music.
Yeah, definitely.
Absolutely.
So
yeah.
to be able to say that, to be able to talk about that, to be able to like, because I think it's happening now. Like with film, like I was just on IG the other day, and everybody follows Will Smith. He's just amazing.
Yeah.
He's amazing
Uncle
with social
Will!
media.
He's become like such a fucking
He's our
genius
social
on-
media
a
dad
social
now.
media.
He
Yeah.
is.
He
And-
broke Instagram. Most
did.
followers in a day.
yeah.
Yeah, and he like I don't know if you saw the post where him and Martin were next to the set of Coming
yeah,
to
the Bad
America
Boy- yeah,
2,
yeah, yeah, Bad
and they
Boys
did the
3.
video
Yeah.
of all of them coming together,
Yeah,
and I
I
was just
saw-
like, oh my God. what's happening right now.
Yeah.
Incredible.
Wesley Snipes,
All
Eddie
at
Murphy,
Tyler
yeah.
Perry
all at
studio.
one-
Yeah.
And not just at one studio, Tyler
Tyler-
Perry studio.
And I'm
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
yeah.
What is happening
does
today?
anybody understand what's
happening?
going on in this video right now?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
and so to see that, I got super chills, just like, yo, this is crazy.
This is happening
These
now.
black actors, like,
Are still doing
legends, still
we're
doing
across
it.
the hall.
doing
We're
it.
across the little street from each other now.
At
Yeah.
Tyler.
At
That's
a black
crazy. Shooting two
property.
different movies in two separate scenes in the same production.
People don't realize how
studio.
powerful what that Tyler Perry thing.
That's
is.
what
No, they do.
Yeah.
No,
That's
they,
what I'm
they
like,
know.
I can't-
They know.
They do know.
I don't think some people don't.
Some
get
people
it,
don't
though.
really get it because,
This nigga bought a whole town.
bro, you have
Nigga.
You bought
Confederate.
He
You
bought
have the-
Raleigh.
Nigga.
You
Nigga bought Raleigh.
You put the White House. You know how many movies are have the White House in them,
right.
bro?
Yeah.
That means every movie
Any
that has
show,
the White House,
yeah.
It's
9
gonna
times
be-
out of 10,
it's gonna be
we're about to
here.
start shooting there.
It's black. He created Black Hollywood.
He did.
Literally.
essentially.
Yeah.
That's exactly. So I
That is
love
insane.
seeing stuff like that.
Bro, I'm trying to get
Spike Lee and
I
him,
need
Spike
them to
motivation.
drop the bag so I can do that. You know what I'm saying? Because we have a lot of space left in North Carolina. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? It ain't like we in a state where it's like New Jersey where it's landlocked. You can't cut no more trees down. We could clear some shit out and really
Oh, yeah,
create
for
whatever
sure.
we want.
They
in
still
North
doing
Carolina.
it now.
And they're still doing it now. And it's like, that's why I'm so glad like we're in a position because I'm like, I feel like in 5 years I might be able to buy half this shit. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah,
and,
yeah.
shit. And then 10, 15 years down the line be like, boom, this is
Yeah.
this for us.
Yeah.
You know, because
Because
just
we
like
need
how,
those Black Wall Streets back where we create.
I was just gonna say that shit.
Yeah, where
I
we
was
could-
just gonna say that shit.
Bruh, like
Yeah.
Kanye got the 300 acres in Calabasas. It's like,
Yeah.
bruh, you need a hospital, you need a police department, you need a fire station, you need some schools.
We have
high
our
schools.
own shit.
Let's go ahead and just go ahead.
own
Let's
economy.
go ahead and start building your town. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like,
And because Killer Mike highlighted that. On,
Oh, yeah.
That's my guy.
What was Trigger Warning?
Yeah.
oh,
Where-
the Netflix show.
Yeah,
yes,
where-
yes,
yeah.
yeah.
The first, I think it was the first.
It was the first or
episode.
second episode
Yeah.
where he could only use black
Black
products.
Yeah,
products.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah. But there's a whole
Bruh,
We found it
website.
kind of difficult.
Bruh, damn near starved and walked all day.
Yeah. Just to look for a black business.
Just
that
looking for black
owned-
food to eat
Yep.
and black transportation.
Yeah. It was crazy.
Yeah.
That was a
That
great
was
social
like-
experiment.
It really brought to my attention, like, and I'm sorry to get so off topic, but
no.
It's okay though.
it brought to my attention. I was talking with my homie, the Deep End. We were texting about just stuff coming up, and he was like, "Yeah, man, I'm a because he's got some merch coming out." I was like, "I want to buy some of your merch, you know, because it's dope. I want to support you."
Yeah.
And he was like, "Yeah, when it drops, I'm gonna send you the discount code." I said, "No, you're not."
Yeah,
I'm gonna pay full price.
I'm buying it full price.
Facts.
And I said that's the problem with black creative economy is that we always trying to get the discount from each other.
Yeah.
And it's like it's nothing wrong with bartering correctly. That's
Exactly.
cool.
Yeah, that's true. Correct bartering doesn't happen
Right,
too
right.
often.
Yeah, like
Exactly.
good, like there's such thing as correct and good bartering. That bartering is cool. I don't mind bartering, but
Yeah.
like I'm not gonna ask for the discount code.
Yeah, I'm
I
coming
wanna-
in expecting full price.
That's what I want.
Yeah,
So when
yeah.
I ask my black creative friends, like, yeah, how much I could give you, I like, nah. Unless it's like, hey, look, man, you like, I love what you do. Let me do this for you. Then I'll be
Yeah.
like, I ain't gonna reject the blessing. I'm like, cool. But I
Yeah.
always go in. I want how much it costs.
Yeah, what do you have it posted online for?
Right. And I want to, and I feel like we should support each other that way.
Absolutely. Yeah.
You know, so yeah, man. Like,
For sure.
Yeah.
Good time, man. 2020. We'll see.
Yeah, it's
What
gonna
that
be
shit
good.
looks
I
like.
think
it's
it's gonna be good.
it's gonna be great.
I feel like
It's gonna be
2020
great.
It's gonna be a
something
black,
crazy is gonna
black
happen.
decade.
Everybody feel
I don't know.
like,
I feel like something just crazy is just going. I've been thinking about
Yeah.
this shit for like the past 3 weeks. Like, yo,
Sarah,
something is coming.
Sarah hit me up. Sarah Too Ill. Sarah the
Yeah,
Ill.
yeah,
She
yeah.
listens to
Ill,
us, for
yeah,
those
yeah.
who know, she's coming on the podcast several times.
Okay, cool.
And she hit me up not too long, like literally like a couple days ago. She said, "Look, man, I'm speaking this because I feel I'm gonna see you in 2020. I can't wait to show you around LA." I said, "We're on the way." She
Yeah.
said, "It's gonna happen because I said it."
You haven't
I said,
been yet?
I've been to LA, but not on anything creative, just like Disneyland.
I've never been.
Family. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not on. But now our producer, his brother, Agent Mitty, which I don't know. You had known him when he was here.
I didn't meet him, but I know who he
You
is.
Okay,
know him,
yeah,
yes.
yeah,
He's
yeah.
in LA right now.
Yeah.
And he's been there for what, 2 years now,
2
right?
years, yeah.
Yeah, so he's done all the production for us for up until maybe like recently, but all my music, I just sent him 4 tracks to send the beats back for. So it's like,
dope.
yeah, so I know when I go out there now, we can get like the neighborhood experience. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like,
Yo, man, LA
because that's my
is-
thing. I don't like going on vacation anymore to the tourist areas.
Yeah.
Like, I'd rather be like,
with
Where do
somebody.
I'm in this neighborhood. Where do y'all go to in
usually
this
go?
neighborhood?
Yeah.
That's
You know
how
what I'm
it
saying?
was, man. It's
Yeah.
beautiful, man.
It's so much more fun.
Like we went there. I couldn't live there because when we were there working, like I said, we got a chance to work with Hit Boy and everything. Like the last day we went there just to, peace
Just to
out.
chill,
Like
yeah.
we just the last time we went to the studio was like, hey, yeah, man, blah blah blah, talk to him and everything. And he was like, yo, y'all getting it in today? I was like, we gotta go see some more of the city, bro.
Yeah.
Like he was like, nah, man, go ahead. Like he knew it was our first time out
So
there.
yeah, it's that allure.
It was work and play.
Yeah.
We had to do it that way because it's beautiful.
And if you can play, you can get that inspiration for something new that you're working on too. So, I wanted to go back a little bit. You mentioned your faith a little bit.
Okay.
And you brought up God. How important? I'm assuming. Well, I want to get into like a little bit of your backstory.
Yeah.
Where are you born and raised from?
So I just had this conversation. So born in New York.
Okay.
Lived there for some time.
Okay.
What part?
Brooklyn.
Brooklyn,
Queens.
home of the greatest rappers.
Queens.
So yeah. Nah, most of my family stays in New York, Queens, Long Island,
Nice.
like all over.
Okay.
So then my mom works for IBM. So her
Okay.
job moved her to Maryland.
Okay, Maryland first. Okay.
We were in Maryland, lived
Where
there.
at? I was born in Maryland.
Laurel.
Laurel. Okay, I was born in Silver Spring.
Okay.
Yeah.
Not too far.
Yeah, not too far.
Yeah,
And then I
so-
lived in Upper Marlboro.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then from Maryland, moved to North Carolina.
Got you.
So
Okay.
I call North Carolina my home because I've lived here for most of my life now.
Bro, low key, we
It's
kind of
pretty much
have
the
the
same.
same
For me.
trajectory. Like I was born in Maryland,
Okay.
there for 8 years. Then you were in New York. Mine was Philly.
Okay.
8 years here for 12.
Okay.
So it's kind of like the same. We only switched in one city.
You was in like
We
mid north.
swapped.
You went,
We
yeah.
swapped. Yeah.
And then I came from St. Thomas, Virgin Islands, born
New
there.
York City.
Then lived in Queens from maybe 6 to 13, and then 13 to here, 13 to now. I've been here.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
What about
that's
you?
great.
I was
Where you
born-
from?
I was born in Virginia, in Portsmouth, P-Town, stay down. Know the fuck going on.
Shout out.
Oh God.
Shout out to J-Dub. They tore my hood down, but it's all right.
Oh,
They
shit, they
gentrified
turned
it, but
down?
yeah,
Damn.
they tore it down.
Damn,
yeah.
that's crazy.
Yo, Brooklyn is hella gentrified.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. I went there in 2016.
Hella gentrified.
Oh my God, man. I went there for Sharon's Agent May's birthday.
Yeah,
30th.
I remember.
Yeah.
We went there with a couple of friends. So it was like the four of us, all black, walking down Brooklyn. We were the only black people there,
Yeah, man.
And I
So
think
crazy.
I think I
So-
saw the same white person 5 times, but it was different white people.
Yeah.
It all looked like Joe, not Joe Rogan, but Seth Rogen.
Wow.
Yeah,
So
just
they all look like hipsters.
So
Yeah.
you came from VA straight here afterwards?
So I lived in Virginia till I was about 3, and then I came to Raleigh. I'm
Okay.
from the north side though, so I've been to Brentwood, Spring Forest, Calgary, Holiday. I live in Wake Forest now
Yo,
though.
city,
I'm
dog.
super north side.
Yeah.
Sometimes people be like, "Nah, you ain't," because I went to school Southeast. So I went to school on the south side. So
What school you went to?
I went to Southeast.
Raleigh?
Yeah,
Whoa, wait a minute. When you graduated?
2009.
Tamara Eaton, did you know her? No.
Tamara Eaton.
Now Tamara Mix, but that's my wife. She graduated in 06. Yeah, 06.
No, so I was a freshman when she graduated.
Okay.
So I probably didn't remember her.
Yeah, but that's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, small world. But yeah, so I went to Southeast, but I'm super north side.
shout out to the North.
Throw your set up.
Yeah.
So, did your parents or family have you in the church come bring in your
Oh,
upbringing?
man, yeah.
Okay.
We was heavy in the church, man. Like when I had to listen and I told my mom I shouted out my mom as the OG MVP.
Yeah.
You know, that's what I say. Like I'm very transparent about my faith. You know what I'm saying? Like my mom introduced me to Jesus and hip hop. You know what I'm saying? You know, and beautiful combination. You know what I mean?
Yeah, facts.
And so, like came up in the church. My whole family is very arts and music inclined. Like my mom was in like a group, church group, they did like praise and worship, in church or whatever. And like she sang, My aunt played the keys.
Damn,
My
that's
uncle
his
played,
story.
Yeah, my uncle played the drums.
Yeah.
Actually, my uncle has played the drums for like some old school, like classic
Groups.
gospel musicians.
Not Cooling Waters.
No. Timothy Wright. He actually, I think he passed away. I think he played drums for Fred Hammond for a little bit.
That's my
wow.
guy.
Yeah.
right.
I
Yeah.
think he did some for Marvin Sapp too a little bit. But
So music really has always been in your
oh,
life.
for sure.
Yeah.
Like
Okay.
like artists, like the art, like my aunt who played the keys, like she painted too. You know,
Okay, because that was one of my
Yeah.
questions. Was it just music, or I feel like you had other
my
art
uncle,
inspiration?
like low key, and I keep trying to push him to do it. He's older now, but like he plays the drums, but he's a chef. Like the nigga can really, like, I ain't talking about like
I could
just-
whip something
Some
up.
like
Alfredo.
no,
No.
like he really cooks.
Yeah.
Parsley, like he be
Parsley, nigga.
yeah,
Boy.
straight up, like
Yeah.
he really gets down, like, and he be so I use this and I put this and it gives it this flavor. I'm like, nigga, go to culinary school, dog.
Yeah.
What are you
Yeah.
doing?
Get licensed up so you can get this business.
You know, so like it's like music and like just the arts in general has been a part of like my
You've seen
DNA.
art from different levels.
So many different
down to
levels,
cooking.
man. Yeah.
So you said like with your mom, like she introduced you to hip hop and all that stuff. So you didn't have like a age where you kind of got into music, like discovered music on your own. Like for me, like it was like I listened to my parents' music, you know, 80s
Okay.
and 70s, Earth,
Okay.
Wind and Fire and all
Whatever
that
they were
stuff.
playing in the house.
Yeah,
Right.
driving me to school, they're playing their music and all that
for
stuff.
sure.
But then I would say like around 9-10 years old, that's when we got MTV, and I was just like, oh, Nirvana, who's this?
Gotcha.
And then Pearl Jam,
Gotcha.
you know, Busta Rhymes, who's this? And then I discovered music on that.
There was a part of discovery for me with the music on like on a individual level, but I was introduced to Biggie, Pac, Tribe Called Quest, Mos Def, Talib Kweli, Missy Elliott, like, you know what I'm saying? Like a lot of what I knew gospel music too, but then also was a lot of R&B, like
Yeah.
Blackstreet Boys, New Edition, like my mom introduced me to various spectrums of music, but like her home base was like hip hop. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying?
Wow,
okay.
that is crazy.
Wow, that is.
But yeah,
That's
like
awesome.
even like some jazz too, because like what she would do. Nah, man, my mom is bruh, she's so awesome. Like she would like some like as I got older, I would kind of discover like listening to A Tribe Called Quest would be like one of my main like inspirations. But she would like show me like, oh well, yeah, they
R.I.P.
use jazz
Fife.
music. Yeah.
R.I.P.
R.I.P.
Fife,
for
real
sure.
quick. Yeah.
For sure. She would like
Use
show
those
me
jazz samples and
yeah,
stuff.
she would like show me like, oh, this is where the music
got it
they're
from,
using
yeah.
is coming. And I'm just like,
Ooh. Damn, your mom was putting you into the game for real.
That's what I'm saying. Like it's so like
She was
she sounds
showing
like
you
an
the
older
drive
sister.
and then showing you the
Yeah.
sample.
Yeah.
Damn,
That's
man.
how moms are, because I'll be listening
Yeah.
to some music. My mom be like, hold up, play that back.
right.
She be like, watch this.
exactly.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
they be
you're
doing
right.
that.
The
Yeah.
whole song. And
Yep.
I'm like,
Moms
I
do that,
had
you're
no
right.
idea
Yeah.
it was even a sample. I thought
Yep.
this nigga just made this beat.
Yeah.
Like,
But
she was just like, girl.
for me, it wasn't like a watch this. It was just like, I'm gonna show you.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
here you go. And so, like, for me, the music era that I came up in, like, as far as like what kind of helped me discover or my self discovery of music beyond what she taught me was the whole bad boy era.
Take that.
Go with
nowhere.
We ain't-
Like that video to me was like,
Yeah.
yo, this is crazy.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
all these cameos.
Ben
and-
Stiller's in it.
Right. Yeah. So like I came up in that bad boy era
Yeah.
of music. So that was like and so like my mom, she put me on the poetry too because she had a lot of unpublished poetry that she would share with me. So
That's
I
what my
would-
heart is.
I came up like spoken word poetry as well. And so
That's dope.
like I started off rapping like it was a homie at school. He had like these CDs of like instrumentals like of older and newer at the time. They were like new back then, like
Gotcha, yeah.
instrumentals. And he would give them to me.
This is high school at this point?
This high school.
Okay.
This no. This is middle school.
Got you.
This is middle school. And so I would take the instrumentals, put them in like in my boombox or whatever. Like this is when they had the 6 disc like boombox changers.
Yeah.
I had a
And
5.
so-
That's my 5 disc over there.
Yeah. And
Yep,
so,
still got it.
Yeah,
And they don't break, bro.
Yep.
I'm on like year
Still
15
using it.
right
and they
now.
don't.
bro.
Nah, they don't.
Yeah.
break, bro.
They don't.
Forever.
And
And
so-
the tape, like the tape deck down there.
Yeah, it still
for the
works.
cassette still works, bro.
Yo,
Yep.
That's crazy.
Them things were built to last.
They were, bro. They were, dog.
And so had one, and I would take a tape recorder and get like some rewritable. Like I would kind of sometimes steal my mom's tapes that weren't like really important. I knew they weren't important.
yeah.
Or blank tapes and put them in a tape recorder, play the music from the boombox and like rap and record it that way.
That was the first time you started.
I was like making mixtapes, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
On literal tapes. Nah.
Yeah, and I didn't know that's what I was doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I would write my raps or whatever, and my written raps and rap them or whatever, and let my mom hear them, and she would just be listening, like I like how you're using like the figure of speech and the similes and metaphors, and like she would
Okay.
point that stuff out. I didn't know what I was doing. I was only emulating what I was hearing.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
And she
But
was
because
just
she was a poet, she understand those words.
And
You hear that,
because-
Leon?
And because she was a hip
I
hop.
said I put lyric and idiom in one of my songs. He was like, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. He was like, take it out. Went over heads.
That's fire. Yeah.
See? I'm not changing. I'm not changing verse. Yes, you did. Yes, you did. Yes, you did. Yes, you did.
Don't do that when I don't have a mic to defend myself.
He can't defend himself.
She's like, I'm taking
That
all
was
these
the
shots.
line. That was the line.
He's like, I'm drawing a line, all right.
Yeah. we will play the record after this podcast. we will get to the bottom of this.
Yeah.
But yeah, I write poetry too, so
No,
that's why I
that's
use
dope.
those words.
Like,
Yeah.
I want to hear your stuff because that makes, when people say, like, I do poetry and they rap, I'm like, I want to hear your music.
Yeah.
Because it's like, then there's another level of, like, lyricism that's going
Yeah.
on.
Yeah.
You know, when you start learning figurative language or literary devices, if that the correct, or school terminology.
Yeah.
Like, and you know what you're doing, and you know how to play with words.
Yeah.
Then it takes it to a whole different level.
It's almost like you've figured out how to weaponize language.
Yes, very much so. And being a hothead and doing that is a bad combination.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
used to be, but yeah.
Yeah.
But
A reformed hothead.
right.
Yeah.
Because you can really go in on some niggas and they won't know what the fuck you're talking about, and they feel
Exactly.
ultimately disrespected. Like, why
Exactly.
you
You're
using
speaking
big words
English.
on me?
You're
And I
speaking
have
English
to
and
be
they don't know.
careful of that.
Yeah.
With my wife, and like when we get into it, sometimes I love her. Like sometimes we get into it, I'm like, dang, like I shouldn't have said that because that was like, but sometimes in my head, I'm like, yo, that was a bar.
It's like, damn, man, give
Without
myself
even
credit.
realizing it, it's like, yo, that was a bar.
I gotta save that for later.
Yo, if you want to go back, this is like a cue off of this. Like the side note, on my 2016 album, I actually have a diss song. My wife said I could do it. Like it's a diss song about my wife.
Your wife? Oh, shit. That is so petty.
It felt good being done with
I
it.
got it.
But
Hear
it's done very tastefully though.
Yeah.
Like
Okay.
it's done very tastefully.
Yeah, it's not gonna be on nothing crazy disrespectful. I mean, that's your
yeah,
wife.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
It's called my
I got to go home
apology. Yeah,
tonight.
it's called
Yeah.
My Apologies Part 2.
Okay.
Yeah. But
Yeah,
yeah,
y'all-
so but anyway, like so yeah, like that's kind of where I started. You know, I stopped, you know, kind of to in high school a little bit, and then I started doing it again like a couple of years into my marriage, as far as like rapping and stuff.
Yeah.
But
When did you take it seriously to the point you're getting mics, equipment, and putting together bodies of work?
Yeah.
so I've had a lot of things afforded to me for free because people have met me and they're like, "Yo, you're so dope. Can we work together?"
Those are always a good connection. I
Yeah,
love those.
but they started off as friendships.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
like my guy JP, my business partner now, we've
Yeah.
been friends since like I've started really doing like kind of doing music
Yeah.
like just to test it out.
Yeah.
He was my engineer. He mixed and mastered a lot of my music. B Kid has done like my last few like all the new stuff that you've heard.
He's been
That's
behind
Brian
that.
since like 2015.
Okay.
So like that's all been Brian.
Fire.
You know what I'm saying? But like before that, it was JP. Like he let me record in his crib. He mixed and mastered my music. He was like, bro, let's just work. He taught me how to make beats when I first started making beats. Like my homie JB, yeah. He is a musician. Like he's
Composer.
crazy. Look.
Yeah.
Did you listen to the album, the whole thing yet?
Oh, yeah.
The end. So like the reprise, that's all him.
Oh, wow.
Like how the song goes out, and then it picks back up with the keys. That's all him singing too. Yeah, that's all JP. Yeah, he's crazy.
JP was the brother behind the.
He was controlling the headphones and stuff.
Yes,
Yeah. Like so, like him, and then just other people I've met. They was just like, yo, like, can I do this? Can I help you with this? Like, just friends. Like, we just working together. But as far as like actually, I would say 2016. Like when I put out that album, making that album, that's when I was like really like locked in. Like I've always done music as you've heard over the years, but like that's when I really
popped in and out.
But when I locked in, I was making music even like 2012, but like my 2016 album is when I locked in, and it's coincidentally when I started doing music full time.
I was just about to say, because you said you've been doing music full time for 3 years.
So 2016, I got laid off. Laid off for the 4th time. I was married. I'll be married next year in June.
I was about to just ask when.
So it'll be 10 years to my wife being married next year.
You've been married 10 years?
Yeah. I got married young. Yeah.
Oh, okay, I was about to say, bro, how old are you?
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, 30.
Oh, you got married young.
I got married young.
Oh, damn. That's
wow.
dope.
Yeah, we was.
Oh, so you in love.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Double love.
Shout out to Wifey Bulldog.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we got married young, and so
laid off for the 4th time.
Yeah, it was. I'm thinking 7 years. I had been married 7 years, and laid off for the 4th time.
Okay.
And that's when, because I was tweeting about that. You saw that, just that whole story.
That.
Yeah, the whole thread, and it was just kind of like, around that time, the week of Halloween. Like, my homie put me on the Lyft and Uber, and he was like, this is how I'm getting it outside of my business.
Yeah.
And I was talking to my wife. We prayed about it. Just like, yeah, it might be that time. I think God is just saying, like, nigga, stop doing this full-time thing and start doing your music.
Yeah,
you know?
Do what you love.
Yeah, right. And so, because I've always been like, even before then, my safety net, what I didn't realize, my safety net was my job. Because I did video. I was producing and making music, doing gigs here and there, and I was like, I got this job I can fall back on. The music stuff is just extra. And God was like, no, nigga, like, do it. You know what I'm saying? And so they let me go. They was like, you are a phenomenal worker. You are great, but we just like, we had to lay a lot of people off. We can't afford to keep all these people, whatever. They had nothing but good things to say about me.
It's just, this is just business at this point.
Yeah, and they
the
was
numbers
just like,
aren't adding up.
Right. And so, like, my wife kind of had a tough time with it. I was a little upset about it, but I remember that week after I did Lyft and Uber, Halloween, I came home. Like, that day alone, I made $600. I was like, yo, I'm doing this. I'm about to do this.
Yeah.
So, like, 2016, I had no choice but to really like
really buckle down and just
and
like
just
fuck it.
do it.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? So, I've been in the music all my life, but yeah, 2016 is when I started really like.
I feel like 2016 was like either a hit or miss for like a lot of people. Like some people went through like a lot of trials and tribulations in 2016. I don't know why it just resonates with me, but like for me, that was like one of the best years of my life. Like I had just got out of a really toxic relationship. I went like out of the state, like to Atlanta for the first time. I've never been to DC. I just traveled like hell.
I was really
been to concerts. I saw Drake and Future and Gucci Mane all in one setting.
That's
it was fucking amazing. Like I had a bomb ass 2016, and then 2017 came and I was like, what the fuck happened?
Yeah.
I started school and I was like, nigga, why did I do this to myself? Like for real.
2017 for me was fire. Because it was niggas was like, oh shit, Pat Jr. is like doing this on this level.
Yeah.
Because that's when I started with my band. I opened up for Cooley. I opened up for Odyssey, who's in my top 5. I was on the front cover of the Indie Week.
Yeah.
Since Mez, because that was the last person who was on it, and doing hip hop or whatever. I was on the front cover of the Indie. I was in the News and Observer. Like, I took my wife to Puerto Rico for our anniversary slash her birthday off of my creative money.
Yeah.
So that was huge for me. So 2017 was lit.
That was like my buckle down year. I was in school that whole year, so I was just like,
mine was
just
buckle
working
down
school.
year too.
Yeah.
16 was terrible for me.
Really?
17 was buckle down year. 18 was grind year.
Yeah.
That was for me too.
Yeah,
2018 was
18
grind
was
year for me.
super grind year.
Get your business straight.
18
and all that.
is I've spent more time with this nigga than I did myself almost. You know what I'm
Really?
saying? Yes. Like every night we in here, mind you, no heat or AC in this joint, bro.
Yeah.
We in this bitch sweating like he's like, I got a project. I'm like, let's make the name. Let's get it popping. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
that's dope,
and we went back to the lab. We doing this podcast every
That's
week.
fire.
I'm gonna figure out how to get this popping. We will be the Breakfast Club of Raleigh. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Podcast version. You know what I'm saying?
Let's
Like,
go.
Yeah, like that was 18 for us, and then 19 and pushing everybody away. I feel like 18, I lost close people to me.
Definitely,
Yeah,
for sure.
yeah.
This year, too. This year's kind of been rocky for me.
Yeah.
Like, it's like a hit. It's like 50. I'm like 50-50.
Yeah,
This year went by fast as fuck.
It definitely went by
Last
fast.
year and this year, I think, like, it's captured in the album. I kind of capture like some past stuff too, but in this album, it's almost like it's been the healing like process for me, like mentally, emotionally, like spiritually, all that. Because what I didn't say, what I forgot to mention is, and I'll say it on the podcast because I think it's a perfect setting to tell this part of my story.
Yeah.
Because I don't talk about it a lot, but when I was in high school, the old church I was going to, they weren't messing with hip hop. I remember putting out a project in high school, positive joint. Like I talked about my faith and all that in high school. And I remember my old pastor standing me up in front of about like 2,000 people and like
Making that secular music.
pretty much
what?
like 2,000 plus.
I would have kirked out.
Yo,
I would have burst into flames right then
it's
and
not
there.
even like you were saying
because I'm about to
and it was a positive album. It wasn't even like you was up here after and all that.
You said
other
when?
stuff.
What year was this?
This is
Oh, you said high school.
junior
Oh,
year.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so for you, because high school for me was like 99 to 2002.
Yeah.
So for you, it was what?
Yeah, junior year, like, so this was maybe 2005?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
That was before we had like Lecrae. Isn't he like the gospel rapper?
He was
Oh,
no,
he
he
was.
was
Was he around then?
He was around.
I just
He was
heard about
around.
him,
And so,
like,
Like,
recently.
blew up like 2 years ago.
Yeah, that's when I heard about him.
Yeah. I knew about him.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
everybody
saying?
knew about him.
But like,
But he's not even a gospel rapper. He's just a Christian rapper. That's all it is.
Yeah.
Kind of is though.
that terminology is like, like
it's kind of almost has a negative connotation.
I'm not
yeah.
from that world, but I know
Yeah.
about that world.
Yeah.
I
Like
kind of
Christian rock.
I got kind of
Yeah.
sucked into the word a little bit, not because I wanted to, but just because it's like even in my music, and that's what I wanted to do now. Like, I love the Lord, you know what I'm saying? But in my music, you hear like there's language in the music, like
What the fuck?
what the
You know?
fuck,
Yeah.
like fuck this shit, like whatever, like you know what I'm saying, like
Yeah.
Because
but-
that's real.
That's just natural.
It's just
Yeah,
real.
that's just
and,
how you.
and I
talk,
have
yeah.
my own view on how language is used because my thing is you can cuss somebody out without cussing them out and bring them so low without
Yeah.
Yeah,
cussing
that's a
them
fact.
out.
That's a
Yeah,
fact.
you are so right.
So it's
about
all
favorite.
about like here
What you
what
got
your
in,
heart
yeah,
is intent,
yeah.
what your heart's intent is. And when like in my music, like I always, one thing my pastor says is like, because even my 2016 album, he was like, you didn't glorify anything negative. It was used artistically.
Yeah.
And he was like, and at the end of the day, God was glorified. I'm like, cool.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
So you're and your
what I
pastor
want.
close?
The last track on the album is called Conversations with My Pastor.
Yeah. Did that drive a wedge between you and your faith when that happened?
No,
It didn't.
no.
Man, a lot of
Like-
people would have skirted up out of their faith.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, like for me, it's like, what you talking about? You talking about with,
Yeah.
with my old pastor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
that's all. Oh, okay.
Okay.
Got you.
Yeah,
Got
Yeah, I
you.
didn't
You did
realize
stop
it was
going
a
to that
different-
church.
Oh yeah, I did.
Got you. Okay.
You're not gonna embarrass me in front of 2K people and think I'm about to come
I
back
stayed there
here.
I stayed there for a little while
little while
longer.
after.
Yeah.
I did.
You in
No,
high
I
school
stayed there.
still,
Yeah, I
anyway.
stayed there for a while, but like maybe a couple years into my marriage.
Deuces.
Yeah.
And it wasn't even for that reason. it was just like I felt like God was just wanted me to be like, yo, all right, y'all want to hear the nitty gritty? Like my granddad, strong man of faith, right? And I knew this is why I was called to be something more than what I was doing, because he shared his faith with a gang like in New York, right? And the gang dismantled because of him sharing his faith about God and living like, because I think a lot of people have a bad perception of Christianity because of how damaged they've been by the church.
Yeah,
but I
100%.
want to be a reflection of like, okay, yeah, I get there. I've been damaged by the church, but you got to remember the church or the church buildings are ran by people who are human.
Yeah.
That is not a full representation of who my Jesus is. You understand what I'm saying?
And then you have to
100%.
take into account that there are scam artists out there who are just making
Definitely,
shirts just to make money.
definitely.
So that could throw everything off.
However, like the church communities, like we all flawed, man.
Yeah.
Like it's ran by flawed people, and sometimes we make mistakes. However, like it's all how you come back from like hurting people or like falling out or whatever the case is. Like my biggest thing like is love and grace, and that's what you hear on the other side of the album. Is like this whole introspective, like you hear me going through my stuff, like the rejection, the pain, you know, like I talk about a lot in the first half, and then the second half, because what happens is when you get to the end of the album, a lot of people, so the last track is called Conversations with My Pastor, right?
Yeah.
And so I'm talking about, it's like almost like where I am now. The whole track feels good. Like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And so like I shout him out because I could have not written this album without having those conversations with my pastor. Okay. And so what happened was like, I've been going to my new church for maybe about 6-7 years now. Okay. And so what ended up happening was like he took the time to disciple me one-on-one, and it was beautiful. Like it was what I needed, because I was getting to a point where
real quick, just for clarification, disciple you is just kind of do like Bible study with you.
So
or are we talking about like
so
a form of
discipleship?
counseling?
It is partially, but discipleship is like doing life with someone, but also like walking with them, living through their faith.
Gotcha.
With the word, like you know what I'm saying. Yeah. But one-on-one,
actually applying it.
That's
how can you apply this?
Yeah, that's how discipleship is supposed to look like.
Gotcha.
But in a lot of churches now, it's like, oh, you get saved and then we leave the discipleship up to Jesus. Nah, you get saved and the discipleship is left up to us. Because Jesus, like, and I don't want to get too deep on y'all, man. I'm sorry, but it's a part of my music. Like,
it is.
So like Jesus had 12 disciples and he did life with them. You know what I'm saying? And so for me, it's like, you know, he did life with me, and we would get up, because I was getting to a point, and I told him straight, I was like, I'm getting numb to just people and their shadiness and the fakeness, being rejected, as in like you doing me wrong, and then like treat me like it's something wrong with me because I'm calling you out on it.
Boy,
like,
that gets up underneath my skin.
The passive aggressiveness.
Yeah.
I told him, I said, I don't give a fuck anymore. I'm starting to be numb towards, I'm like, fuck it.
Yeah.
Like that Black and Mild, Black Wayne EP.
Yeah.
I was bumping that.
So that was like my Batman era. Like, I'm to myself.
Dark Knight type shit.
Yeah. I got my circle of people that I mess with, but the rest of y'all niggas, I don't fuck with y'all.
Yeah.
Period.
That's literally AJ.
That's how,
That's literally AJ.
But
we do not fuck with these niggas, Cherry. No.
But listen, but like that's when you see Batman, like I know how to be Bruce Wayne.
Yeah.
Switch up.
Hey, real quick, tell me Bruce Wayne ain't the flyest nigga.
That's the flyest nigga in the country.
Flyest nigga in the game. Boy.
With a bag.
And people get it twisted, because like I had to explain to my homie, like shout out to my homie Sway, that's my partner, man. I had to explain to Sway because he was like, Batman, like he uses his white privilege. I said, no. Batman is fighting for justice in the hood.
Yeah.
He uses his rich money
to go to the hood. Yeah.
to go to the hood
Facts.
and help niggas.
Yeah.
And then even when he's Bruce Wayne, if somebody runs up on him with a story like this homeless shelter shutting down, he'll be like, what? Hey, throw him $500,000.
Exactly.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
does shit like that.
Exactly.
He said there's truck. It'd be Ferraris lined up outside.
Yeah.
The next day, bro.
Exactly.
He
So
does shit like
he's
that,
using his
bro.
power.
So that was my Batman era of like, I don't like, I love my team, but I don't fuck with the rest of y'all niggas. And I like, that's where I was at. And he told me like there's a difference between guarding your heart and then just being closed off.
Yeah.
You know,
Cold-hearted.
Being cold hearted.
And that line is really fine too, especially when
Yeah.
you're in that mind state.
Yeah.
And like, and that's when I started realizing, like, walking with him helped me realize. So having those conversations helped me write a lot of the material because I was able to pinpoint and define these things we were talking about. These areas in my life where I didn't realize the way that I am now is because of something that happened to me in my past. Like my blind spot that I didn't even realize it was shaping who I was. Like my dad leaving me, like this nigga literally left after my first birthday party. He came to my first birthday, brought a gift, and he, like, my mom was like, that's the last time I saw him.
Damn.
He ghosted. Mind you, like, Papa was a Rolling Stone, bro.
Yeah.
It's four of us that I know. It's three that I know about. One that the mom is like, nah.
I don't fuck with y'all.
Yeah.
Not even us.
Oh,
it's him. She don't want him to know anything about it. He don't need that. Her thing is he don't need that right now.
Yeah.
But like I met my like it's crazy. I didn't even know, like, nigga, I had a half brother who played for Northern High School, played football, was living in the same area I was living in, and I didn't know about him.
Oh, wow.
Like deep down inside, I felt like I had an older brother.
Yeah.
But I didn't know that I had one. And he's a painter.
And you might have
Phenomenal,
needed that.
like,
you definitely needed an
a lot of
older
guidance
brother.
you
Like,
might
that's a
have missed
lot
out
of
on.
guidance.
Right.
For
And
sure.
so like
Because when you were coming up, were you the only one in the house? It's just you. one
until my
child.
sister.
Until your sister was born.
That was years later though.
Gotcha.
But like for me, it's like dealing with my dad and then talking to him when I was in college, but then facing that rejection again because homie was trying to be my father. And it's like, nah, nigga, let's be
too
friends.
late. Yeah, we need to be friends now.
Like,
'cause
stop
you
trying
missed
to
that part.
like, and it's my story.
Stop
I'll
trying
talk
to
about
sun
it.
me.
Yeah, like he
basically.
was like, yeah, I'll talk about it. Like I was dating my wife, and he was trying to say it's okay. Like, yeah, man, y'all could spend the night together. Like, nigga, I'm trying to wait till I get married. Like, what you doing? Like, you know what I'm saying? So, like, him trying to. I was like, nah.
I thought I heard that in a song that I was listening to. But that's personal, so I didn't want to get into that. So you did wait.
It's out there. You know, it's
Wow,
out there.
that's
Like
beautiful.
the waves. Yeah, like the waves I talk about part of that rejection of being, you know, I was a cool ass nigga, you know, handsome, like, you know what I'm saying? And the girls liked me and I dated them, but it was just like I want to wait.
Was that because of your faith? Like, because that's what was instilled in you?
Yeah, like
Okay.
not even just instilled in me, but it was just kind of like
It felt right. To
It just
you.
felt right. Okay, yeah.
like, But you know, my faith had a big part in that, and me realizing like what God made sex for. You know what I'm saying? And so that impacted me. It's like, oh, like this is something special meant for this person. Oh,
Yeah.
okay, like,
Especially with that exchange of energy, for sure.
And see, and I feel like
I love
that's
her,
real.
man.
yeah.
Soul ties be real. I'm trying to tell you.
I love her, man.
That shit be real.
She's good, right?
No, but I think that this is an important thing to get out there anyway, because, you know, I feel like, especially in this day and age, women have this very negative view of men. Oh, niggas are all dogs and all this stuff. All they want is sex and all that stuff.
Talk
and
about
they're not
it,
really
man.
exposed to different kinds of guys, you know? They're just
Exactly.
living in their
Thank
own
you.
world.
That is true.
And so I was that guy.
Yeah.
I was the one. I'm not all females were like that, but there was a nice amount of females that just didn't want to. Like, I heard after that, I was the one getting broken up with. Like
You won't try to slime that.
and it was one girl in particular. She, like, I told my wife about her. Like, when we started dating or whatever, this one girl, I won't say her name. But look, check this out,
Jasmine.
though.
Nah. It's like, how did you know?
Right.
I'll be like, don't worry, I'll edit that out. Don't worry.
Yeah.
But it's one girl I was dating, and I remember, like, she broke up with me. She was going to be a senior the following year. I was going to be a junior. and she was the hottest shit at her
The
school.
one, yeah.
Like she was the hottest shit, but she came to church with me. Like I kind of like in a sense not rescued her in a sense, but like she was living in kind of like a broken like home almost, and she was adopted. And I was like, yo, come ride out with me to go to like the summer like youth conference like in my church or whatever. And she enjoyed it. She loved it. Like she was cool people, and she was the shit because she was like an athlete, like a top athlete at her school and everything.
Oh, so she was popping.
She was popping. And so then I remember she broke up with me, and she was just like, yeah, it's just like being a senior and the busy world talk. But when I found out, it was just like, because he not trying to have sex.
Yeah.
And then
everything else was perfect.
And then check this out. I'm going to put it out there too. The first year I got married, she was in the Army. And I remember her messaging me on Facebook.
She was trying to double back.
I said, she was like, yeah, congratulations, and blah, 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 and this, that, and the third. I was like, yeah, thank you, whatever. I was like, you got to meet my wife. She's super cool. She was like, yeah, I'm not ready for that yet.
At least she was honest enough to know.
I was just like,
I'm not mad at her though.
Okay, nigga.
Because at least she said that. Because some girls that get around your wife,
that's true,
be real fake and friendly, and then when you leave, be like, "You look real good today." You
know, on the game. I was just about to say that coming from a woman's point of view, like she definitely probably women goes to church with you, especially that's not like her natural thing to do. She fuck with you, so you probably took her out of a box, and she thought that y'all were going to go somewhere,
and she like hung with my homies and like the same aura that you guys that you talked about. On the review when you was like Pat like has this aura around people that like he feels like I'm assuming that's how he is. He's very welcoming. Like I feel that vibe when I come in here, and that's how I am too. Yeah. But in the place of that album, I didn't. And like you hear on Like the Waves, I wanted to bring that point up. I didn't mean to cut you off, but like I wanted to bring a point up on that song. Social Butterfly with his wings clipped used to be the life of the party. Used to have a smile with some meaning. Now I give a smile for the party.
Bars.
Bars.
I'm sorry. You were saying.
But no, so I definitely just feel like she definitely just thought that y'all were probably going to go somewhere. Like, for sure. And she probably was really invested.
Well, my thing is she was.
And then you weren't trying to give up no dick. She was tight.
Yeah. She was tight.
How dare you not fuck me? Are you serious?
And then you get somebody else.
Like, so was you doing this with all the other bitches? Like, I went to church with you. You ain't trying to hit now? What's up? I'm mad.
And the thing is,
she thought she could wear you down.
Yeah, that's what it was.
That's what it is. That's what it is. She I'm doing everything. This nigga, I'm going to church with him, meeting the homies, meeting family, goddamn youth conferences, shit.
I do enjoy those moments when some people, they just don't realize how much about your word you are. And I told you from the beginning.
I was not fucking
what this was. I'm not one of them dudes you used to mess with.
But she told me she made it seem like it was cool. She was like,
of course,
because she thought eventually you being with her, especially if she's so hot and attractive, and she has all these acclamations with her. She thought that she was She thought it was going to be
bad too.
Yeah, she thought it was going to be like.
She's like, I did the butt wiggle and everything.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm over here twerking.
But speaking of that though, because then you've been with your wife for 10 years. So one of my questions that I had about that was, what are some of the lessons? Because I didn't even know you had been together for 10 years. So y'all been through a lot of shit together.
Man.
So y'all only been married for 10 years. So y'all been together longer than that?
We were together since our senior year in high school.
Okay. So like 17, 18.
Dated for like 2 years and some change, maybe.
Then got married
for all through college, and then got married.
Gotcha.
Wow.
Okay.
Right out of college.
Yeah.
Wow.
What are some of the lessons that you've learned being married to your wife, and how have those lessons played a role in your life and who you are as a man today and this album?
Oh man,
loaded question. I've been waiting for this one.
No, it's not loaded at all. Like it's
not loaded, but you know.
Yeah. No, I mean, man. My wife is a fountain of wisdom. That's the best way to put it.
Okay.
Like she is a fountain of wisdom, and like to be able to go to her and like get wisdom on just when niggas is tripping, how should I respond to this? What should I? Because I'm very accountable. Like I have homies that keep me accountable, like brothers in the faith that like, especially like my executive producer Daniel, like he will tell me like, nigga, you tripping right now.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
You know, you wilding. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, because, you know, hothead mentality.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so like my wife is like I think like I'll be honest with you, if a reflection of this album, how I'm talking on the album, like being married taught me. So like, cause my mom, one thing that I like, a friend of mine told me is like, when you're writing music, this is like a gem. I'm throwing this out here because I don't like, when it comes to making music as a writer, he was like the biggest lesson that I've learned, when you write your album, you need to write it like you're talking to a woman. Like when you write your music, like
I've switched my perspective when writing music to that too.
yeah, so it's kind of like write it like, and he was like, it's like guys will get it too, but as far as like connecting and being vulnerable and explaining things, like women like that. You know, women like and especially in relationships, that's a need, like for them to be. For guys, we don't need to do a whole lot of talking if it's not necessary.
Yeah.
Bro, I gotta play you this song that I did, bro. I gotta play. That was literally exactly what you're describing. That's what that song is, bro.
Okay. Yeah, now I want to hear it. Yeah,
you said that you love me. That one.
Oh yeah.
That's exactly what you're saying.
Yeah, and so like when I let my mom hear the album, she was like, I said, what about like as a woman listening to it? Like,
how do you feel?
And she was like, I think it's beautiful. She was like, it spoke to me as a woman. Like the vulnerability, the way you talked, how you talk, the words you use. And that's what one thing I wanted to accomplish with this album is that not just for the sake of marketing and broadening my female listening audience and my women listening audience, like just for the sake of like, I needed to show that side of me better because in the past, on my past projects, there were spots where I was learning. You could hear there were spots where I was learning how to make good songs, but a lot of it was me trying to just out rap niggas.
Oh, more competitive based instead of
Like,
message based.
let me just show you like how dope my pen is. Like, not really trying to like, nigga, I got bars, or like thinking like it has to be bars. Like, I watch a lot of battle rap, so it's like every bar
has to be a bar. Yeah,
and it's like, you hear it on the album here and there. Like I have my moments, and then there's one part like on the Healing After Paranoia where I just barred the fuck out. Like you still get what I'm saying, but it's just like
you still want to have those moments.
Yeah, you want to have those moments. Like, but like it's become more about showing you how good my pen is to like showing you my heart. Like showing you who I am, like the deepest depths. People have said my music is vulnerable in the past, but like those same
really
people
feel that this time.
on this one, I was like, when I write this album, I want to be like straight up, like open about it.
How do you do that though? Because I struggle with being vulnerable and transparent. So
being married has helped me out a lot.
So
that's part of it.
You have to be.
You have to be
open and
communication. But I've always been like, being raised in a single parent home, I've always been expressive and but like it was a building point for me, like being vulnerable in my music, I would say, because like I've always been just part of my faith has like, I think there's gifts like in the faith that people have, and I think transparency is one of them. The gift of transparency, because like, and I hate to get I don't want to be super deep, but like so when Jesus was about to be nailed to the cross, he went to the Garden of Gethsemane and prayed to his Father, said, like, let this cup pass from me. I don't want to do this. And it's like, wait a minute, this is Jesus. Oh, shoot. And he cried, and his tears were blood. Yeah. It's just like, whoa. Yeah. Like, and so I think that being transparent, like, a lot of people see transparency as a sign of, well, it's thought that transparency is weakness, but transparency is actually a sign of strength.
Yeah.
And so, like, it was a building point, because I would do it here and there, but it was like a tussle between, like, I got to rap well, but I want to be transparent. But nah, nigga, you got to get these bars. And it's like going back and forth. But for this album, I was like, you know what? I'm going to just say what needs to be said straight up, so you know where I'm at. Like where I've been and where I am now. And so my marriage has helped me a along the years of communicating things clearly, explicitly, I'm still learning now.
Yeah.
When to shut up, when not to say anything, how to say things, you know, and yeah, like that's one of the biggest things like that is taught me is being a better communicator. But my wife, man, she's a fountain of wisdom, like 100%.
I love you say that because I always say the woman is wisdom and the man is the knowledge.
And I think another thing with going back to the putting your heart on the table, basically, I think you have to sort of put your ego. You have to put your ego aside to do that, you know, and get rid of your defense mechanisms. Because I think for a lot of people, it is a defense mechanism to hide yourself. You know? Some people use like laughing as a defense mechanism.
As a coping method.
Yeah, you know, like you're having a serious conversation or a serious conversation or something like that, or a confrontation, and their first instinct is to laugh, but that's
get angry and lash out.
We all have different, you know, instincts, but like, I mean, bro, like it's so much that I could say that she's taught me, but like learning these life lessons with her have helped me become a better artist.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, man. Like, cause I even talked about it at the listening party, like straight up, and I'll share with y'all. You weren't there, but I made a point to say recently, like not this year. No, it was earlier this year. Nigga, I was about to stop rapping.
Yeah.
Really?
I like that was a good moment. I like
She was crying.
Yeah.
She thought I was really I was like that was like one of the pinnacle points. The other pinnacle point was her introducing me, her like setting up for me to meet my GOAT who's on my album. Like that's the epitome of a supporting wife. Like you set that up for me to meet the GOAT to me, and he's on my album. Like you threw me that alley. Like that's crazy. But like I was gonna quit earlier this year, and before I had talked to D Still, he was like, "Nigga, you tripping?" Like, she was just after I came back and I told her, like, yeah, you know, I'm not gonna quit. I'm gonna keep going, and I got a new perspective on it, and blah blah blah. She started crying. I was like, "What?" She was like, "Cause I thought you was gonna quit," and she was just like,
got goosebumps.
God was just like telling me you like. I remember like my wife is very like she was very essential in. Because I remember last year, 2018, in the beginning, it was kind of rough. And I was like, look, if I got to go back and get a regular job, I will do it.
Yeah. Before we fall.
Right.
Yeah.
And there's a comfortability when it comes to being married for women to have financial security. Guys, we could tough that shit out.
We can. Yeah, we can. But there's only a certain level
that
of
shit will stress
toughing
women
it
out. Yeah.
That I'm even going to let you go through too.
Right.
Yeah.
And so like I understood that. So I was like, look, I will go back and get a regular job if I need to. I don't mind. And she was on the same page, but she said, God told me no. Keep going. And I was just like, yo, my wife is
fire. She's fire. I like her.
I'll share this too. She had a dream.
That one day.
Right. She had a dream that she told me, and I won't go like because, you know, I'm still trying to fill that out. But she had a dream that she told me one time that's actually like happening in a sense. And I'm just like, oh. And it's before everybody else said it.
Yeah.
Because she's a dreamer. That's one of her gifts.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, oh shoot, like she's off the chain, bro. She fire. Like, you know
but that's why
I love talking to brothers who are happily married.
I love it. I love me some black love.
I'll be like, there's hope for me.
But just even not even just married, but just like a good guy with a head on his shoulders. That's like I'm hoping the ladies are listening because you have no idea how many women I meet that just think men are just
it's all on Twitter.
Same. Yeah, that's just the same.
But Twitter is so toxic. Bro.
You know that they don't think that there are compassionate and understanding guys out there. They just think guys are these horny dogs that just
Look, man, I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna say this, but also say I'm praying for y'all because the stuff that I see in the dating world, I'm glad I'm not dating no more.
Yeah. It's foul out here.
It is, and I be feeling for y'all. I'm like,
At this point, I'm just done. I'm just gonna take a break.
Man, don't
focus
say
on
that.
The music. I'm just gonna focus on the music. If it happens, it happens.
Yeah.
I've always
you.
moved with the mind state of I'm only worried. I'm not worried about that at all. If it comes, it comes.
Yeah.
All my best relationships have come like that.
Yeah.
Like
I got
I'm
you.
focused on podcast, music, branding, and then it's like if that girl that happens to just pop up and just stick around and everything works, it's just like those have been my best
feel you.
situations.
Yeah.
And I keep coming across women who don't realize that they're attracted to toxic men and then complain about it.
A lot of women don't realize that.
Oh.
A lot of women do
A lot
not
of women
realize
don't
that we
realize.
are attracted to the same type of men just because they're different in certain ways. But it's like you're still dating the same type of nigga.
I think
You have to break away from that.
Right.
But it's scary to try something because we have preferences. Yeah. So it's just like me stepping outside the box or thinking outside the box and trying a different preference overall is just like
It's nerve wracking in itself.
It
Let me
is.
ask you this. Would you say that females are, in most cases, attracted to the same either present fathers or absent fathers? Kind of personalities? Because that's what I've...
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
yeah, because I definitely like bald niggas with beards. And that's my dad.
Right. But I'm talking about like personality-wise.
Personality
too, like,
wise, I mean
Oh yeah,
I don't know. I don't really
Yeah.
like a lot of my homegirls' dads weren't in their lives at all, so I really can't say.
And this
'cause
is a whole nother rabbit
they don't
hole.
even have they don't have father figures.
Yeah,
you know,
but-
maybe like uncles, cousins, or something like that.
Right.
But they don't really have anything to go off. They're going off what they see their mom date.
yeah.
Yeah.
And that's the point I'm
And that's
trying
why
to
one
make.
thing I respect about my mom. My mom never brought no niggas around me. Maybe like two in my whole life
Who weren't solid.
who weren't solid. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like, and she's still like really good friends with them. You know, like my mom's engaged now, but like the man she was dating before she met like my stepdad, like I still talk to him. Like I still consider him like a father figure to me. Like that's my daddy. They were together for like almost 10 years.
Yeah,
You know what
yeah.
I'm saying? And they broke up, and then you know what I'm saying, she got my stepdad. And I love my stepdad. Like he's cool too. But I can count on one hand how many men my mom's been around. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah.
So
So it seems like some of them.
Shout out to the mamas.
Shout out to
Yeah,
mom.
yeah. Some of them could be like. For some women, I guess it could be something like environmental because I remember in high school there was this girl that we used to mess with her a little bit, but me and my brother, yeah, she was like the neighborhood. No, we didn't have sex with her. I didn't have sex until like
You meant-
outside of high school,
yeah,
but
yeah, but
you know,
y'all
it's just
talk
like she used to
to
lick in
her,
our ears
flirting
and stuff like
and,
that.
oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
sit in our laps or something.
Boy, that used to go crazy.
licking
back
the
in the
ear.
day.
Yeah, she used to do this thing where she used to lick
Yeah,
it.
licking the ears.
Yeah, she used to do this thing. She used to straddle us. She used to straddle us and then
Stuff
like licking
that
our
used to
ears
be
and
so
stuff.
serious too. Yeah.
We were 16.
dry humping
yeah.
and shit.
Yeah, dry
Kind of, yeah. But what I'm saying is she used to hate her mom because her mom always used to bring home different guys to the place. However, she used to bring home different boys all the time from
Yeah,
school.
it's literally learned
Yeah,
behavior.
yeah.
learned behavior.
But she didn't notice it. My brother and I, we used to talk to her and be like, she's doing the same thing her mom is doing, but she don't even
hates her
notice
mom.
it.
Man, I knew
Yeah.
girls in high school that was fucking niggas with their moms.
Yeah. Oh
Yeah,
shit!
like
Where did you go?
bro? I went to Southeast. Southeast was crazy.
God damn!
Outside people was wild. That's why I'm like, I gotta get back to the north. I should have went to fucking Bryan. What the
believe
fuck
it,
is
yo.
this?
Yo.
Like
Oh
for real.
shit!
I believe that, man.
That's
Damn.
one thing I'm glad my mom never brought anybody around, and then bruh, she was just so on my head, bruh. I didn't do anything in high school, like, because I just knew she'd find out.
Yeah.
You had one of them mamas.
What?
Like me.
She's psychic, bruh. You know what I'm saying? If I'm in the same room with some weed, I ain't hit it at all. I think she knows.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you know
Like,
what I'm
almost
saying?
like Pootie Tang when he was out like about to steal
About to steal
fruit,
it,
and the belt came and hit him.
Yeah.
He was like looking around like,
Yeah, that's how my mama was,
bro.
bruh. Yeah.
yeah. I could have had a bad day at school and the teacher ain't write no note. But I would come home and my mom be like, "What happened at school today?"
Facts. Yeah.
And I'm like, "Dang, nigga, how you know?"
Yeah,
You said that to her, damn nigga.
Like, how
I
you
barely
know?
got up in here.
Them secret calls.
And it won't even. No, I got no call.
She
It's just
just
the
knew.
aura that I
They
came
know.
home
Yeah.
with, and it's just like, what happened? And I'm just like,
My mom be doing
like,
that.
how did you know that?
Or
Yeah.
she'll just call you at the blue. Like my mom, every so often I get that text from her like, "Call me." I be like, "I'm on."
What's up?
Bye.
Yeah.
Bye. If my mom says, "Call me," I need to talk to you. I'm just dropping everything. 'Cause
Yeah.
She either had a dream about something, whatever she needs. She needs me now. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I remember, like,
and
how-
she gonna tell me something that I need to hear.
Yeah.
Remember how you were saying, like, feeling sorry for people in the dating realm and all that stuff?
Yeah.
Who it really, we have to feel sorry for even more is kids today because the dating life that we're going through right now, they're going through right now.
Worse, like,
because they have cell phones at fucking 7 years old. You know, back when I was a kid, my mom knew the girls I was dating because they had to call the house.
Right.
You know, they always
They had to
knew
come
who my
over
girlfriends
type
were,
shit,
you know?
yeah.
But today, kids have their own cell phones. They're on their own, you know?
I feel like it's going to be even harder now just because of our generation is so fucked up.
Yeah.
Like like all these people are having kids. You know, I know people that had kids from anywhere from 13. You know what I'm saying? 16,
kids raising
17.
kids,
There was a girl in my 5th grade class pregnant.
16.
You know what I'm saying? So it's just like you got to think like, wow. So you had a baby at 13. Now your son is 13. And you're fucking, you're fucking 26.
Yeah.
And it's like you're growing up with your kids, so you're not even a full adult yet.
I know.
And here you are trying to
because-
raise a whole nother human with no help because your mama ain't shit. She out here fucking and sucking everything, and then you don't have nothing to go off of. So now you looking at all these bitches on Instagram thinking they trying to live this life like they do
they're
with their
kids still,
kids,
you know?
and like it just doesn't work. And these kids are fucking
No,
doomed.
because you. Oh no, I'm sorry. But
I was gonna say, and that's why I said a reflection of present or absent fathers.
Yeah. That plays
It's
a huge
yeah.
factor.
Because, and I'm sorry, I'm gonna let you go to what you were saying, but the point I was trying to make was like the fathers are supposed to like
Be the
date,
discipline.
date their daughters.
Yeah.
Show
Like,
her how you
take
like,
them out.
They take them out
on a date.
Yeah, but this
Show
is
'em
our bonding
how
time.
is it supposed
This
to
is
be?
how a man treats you.
Yeah.
I open the
See,
door
my brothers
for you.
did that for me, so I was lucky.
So either women don't know, or
Yeah.
they just see a bad father, like mistreat their mom, mess around, whatever they can.
And then they never know why the dad really left. And most of the times
That's
it be
another
because of the
thing.
mom be on some fuck shit. Like I had to have
You need to talk to
I
her,
kind of
bro.
have like a coming to Jesus
Don't
moment
worry,
with my
don't
mom.
worry. We're cultivating that.
And I like, I was over at my parents' house and my mom was like going in on my stepdad. And I was like, Mom, stop. I was like, yo, you're so fucking annoying. I literally said this. I was like, you're so fucking annoying right now. Like I told my mom's like my best friend. That's how we talk to each other. And I was like, you've got to stop. I said, you have to realize that with the things that you say, like this is learned behavior. You had some shit happen to you in your past, and now you are carrying this over, and it's been fucking 40 years, and you're still this way. You need to fucking change. I was like, you need to stop going in on this nigga like this. I said, and just relax. I was like, because right at this point, I'm about to go home because I don't even want to be around this. And now I see why he act the way he do. Like he's just, and I'm like, just chill out. So they've been a lot better since. And I was like, bro, you need to relax.
Yeah.
I was like, Mom, because I'm
emotionally G-checker.
a lot like my mom. Like me and my
So
mom.
you were able to talk to her on that level,
Exactly,
like,
because I
yeah.
can see that this is something that I do as well.
Oh, so it's like you're
trying
talking to
change
yourself
it.
almost.
And now
That
I'm
is
saying, I'm trying
good
to,
self-awareness.
I'm trying to
Yes.
figure out where the fuck I got this from. And I'm like, damn, I got this from my mom. Like, Mom, you gotta stop.
Yeah, it takes
Like, because
good
when I have
self-awareness.
kids,
yeah.
and you help me with my kids, I don't want my daughter to be like this. Like, no, I don't want that. So
Yeah.
Well, I'm sorry.
Oh no. Yeah, I was gonna say like with the young parents having kids having kids and all that stuff, having like a whole generation like that is problematic. Like what you were saying because, I'm not a parent, but I'm just saying I would imagine that. Well, just looking from my parent, like my mom, you have to have like a certain amount of wisdom in order to pass down to to your seed or whatever, But if you're a child yourself, you don't have wisdom. You haven't paid taxes. You haven't lived life to have anything to pass on to your child. So that's why I'm kind of glad my mom had me at a reasonable age, so she could teach me things like, hey, this is how you use a credit card wisely, use your debit card more than this and all that stuff.
All that stuff,
Yeah, because she's been through the ringer of
even
life.
when you and this is not a shot at anybody that has had kids like at a young age.
Yeah,
but,
because some of them might not even had help it. Maybe they couldn't help it. It was a mistake.
Even when you 23, 24, you still don't really know shit.
Yeah.
Yep, I thought
there
I
was a
knew.
tweet. It was just like, I hate when 22-year-olds try to.
I knew.
Yeah.
It was a tweet I was looking at.
Full
It was just
circle.
like, I really hate when 22-year-olds try to talk to me like we're on the same level. Like, you haven't been through bouts of depression.
That is
You haven't
true.
hit rock fucking bottom yet. Don't ever speak to me like we're on the same
Right.
level. Like,
Yeah, but they still have
them 4 or 5
illusions
years
of
make a
grandeur.
difference.
They
Like,
have illusions.
seriously,
Literally
like,
fresh out of college.
You don't know
maybe.
anything.
You don't know anything.
Yeah.
Like
you about to hit the lowest of the lows.
That's
in
going
about
back to
2-3 years.
That's going back to what we said in our one of our earliest earliest episode where I said like I saw a study that said the human brain hasn't fully finished developing until 25.
Yeah.
So they say the legal age is 18 and all that stuff, but you're really not an adult completely until 25.
You can't think about like decisions like that. That's like in some states,
still in the oven.
16-year-old is an adult, and I'm just like, how?
Yeah.
Basic human functions you don't even know how to. You don't even know how to wipe your ass correctly.
Yeah.
Like for real, like how?
But
Yeah.
yeah, let's double back around to the album.
Oh, yeah.
I thought I knew that is a way. That's what we talk about right now.
Like
that's
we
really what we talking about.
we thought we knew what an album rollout was like, but I guess not.
Now we know.
Now we know.
We just went in full depth.
The album is out right now. Who are some of the producers, engineers, features, and overall support that you want to shout out for this album?
So Daniel Still, of course, executive produced the album. I co-produced some of it, but I was more so hands off with the production because he wanted me to focus, like, hone in on the songwriting. Yeah, like, and then we had one like outside producer who produced a full track, which is Siege Monstrosity. Super dope producer. He super like cool dude too. Mm-hmm. That's what I wanted to say first. But he's done some work with like Sir from TDE.
Oh,
so
wow.
you remember West Side Boy?
Sir.
His like first like kind of West
So
Side
no,
Boy.
I actually just got on Sir. Like,
Yeah, well, so did I actually.
Yeah, so I the crazy thing is like Pelham Jr. has afforded me some opportunities to meet other producers like Hit Boy, like Siege, like because they're looking for like sound design. So like he heard our stuff. It's like, yeah, I'm a fan. I'm like, nigga, I've been buying your drum packs for a minute. What you talking about?
Yeah.
I've been a fan of you. Like, he was like, oh man. So like, we was just chopping it up, and I was like, look, well, I want to toss you some of our stuff, but like, you got some beats, like, cause I'm an artist too, and I'll send him my music. He was like, oh, yo, you dope.
Yeah.
And so then he was like, so the beat for Like the Waves, he produced Like the Waves.
Yeah.
He sent the track. He was like, yeah. He texted me. He said, yeah, this is one of the joints that I was around the time when I was sending stuff to TDE. I said, oh, word. So he sent it to me. Nigga, when I heard that beat, I screamed like a little
That was the
girl.
first song I played by you. So yeah.
And I was just like, yo, like this is crazy. So like, I waited for a little bit, and I was like, yo, can I get the stems to this joint? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So shout out to Siege. JP did like he did production on Conversations with My Pastor. My homie Jans, he actually made the sample for Conversations with My Pastors.
Okay.
So the singing that
I still think this is the most amazing thing that he has found that lane of creating the sample. That is just so fly and like.
Thanks, man. Yeah, so
That's
he made the sample. He actually is a part of Pelham Jr., but he made the sample. So D Still took it. So it's co-produced by him, by my homie Jans, but D Still took it, made the beat with it, and then JP added the end. Mark, he was there. He used to be in the group Incognito, the band from around here. Mark Figueres, he played guitar on the same damn song. Eric from Incognito sung like the pre-hook for Spice Adams and for Find My Way. Jay Givens featured on Find My Way. Sianka, yo, somebody dope like R&B singer. She's amazing, bro.
Is she around here?
She's in Charlotte.
Charlotte, okay.
Super dope, dope, like really dope. Sianka was featured on Summer Breeze. Man, just everybody. Like, if you know you're on the album, like
this is for you.
Everybody killed it, man. From like my homie Suede, I'll say this too. I put this out here because I wasn't gonna say anything, but I need to say this. Suede A&R'd my album. My homie Suede. He lives in Chicago. He's from Florida. Okay. Y'all need to check him out.
Okay.
He goes by Southpaw Suede. Incredible rapper. Great songwriter.
I was listening to a song that y'all had.
Yeah, on the Black and Mild joint, the last joint, the II joint. Yeah.
Yes, that's exactly what I was listening to.
Yeah, Suede is you heard him.
I fuck with it.
He can rap.
I ran that song back twice.
Very well. And he's super dope. But he A&R'd my album. So Daniel definitely had a part in like saying what sound good. But here's another gem I'll say, because like this happens in certain collectives, like with TDE and probably some other rap like labels where they tight or whatever, like they hear each other's music. he was my rap coach. So like I sent him my demos. And you got to be careful about, first of all, who you send your demos to.
Facts.
Because some people will hear it and they won't, they don't have the ear to hear what the final result is going to sound like.
Yeah. They can't hear what you're going for.
They can't hear what you're going for.
Yeah.
So like that's rule number one. But he has a great ear for that.
Yeah.
So I sent him my records and I was like, it wasn't so much of like my ghostwriter, but he rap checked me. Like he was listening like for good rapping, for good communication, for like, no, you did this really good. This was dope. Like this sounds really good. And he was like, or some parts I didn't feel comfortable. Well, try it this way. Like try it this way, messing around with it this way or whatever. Like he was my rap coach and was like passing, like giving me the check mark for like, no, this is great rapping.
Just guiding you,
Like,
keeping you on the path.
and making me feel comfortable what I was doing because it was a very new space for me being this vulnerable. Like not doing a lot of sad boy raps. Or struggle, like I'm going through it raps. There was a lot of new expression for me on this album. So I was like, man, this feels kind of corny to me. He was like, nah, this sounds good. So having him being able to like A&R my album and be like a rap coach for me in that aspect, because I'm going to new territory with my music, was great for me. So having him, and that's the thing, like rappers, they're afraid to do that.
Yeah.
Like if you're artist who raps or you're a rapper, like sometimes we're afraid to let homies like listen to our stuff and be like, nah, you could do that again, or you could do that better for a whole album too.
That's a lot of yeah.
And it's like the good thing is he didn't have to like do that over or whatever. A lot of it just, he was like, all of this just feels good. He was like, but I could see as far as expression, try these things if you're concerned about it.
Slight tweaks.
Just do this or try it. So like, so shout out to Sway, man. I love him. That's my homie. That's my buddy. And then I mean, like that's pretty much like everybody who was on the album who had a hand in it. Like Jay Givens on Find My Way, he killed you. That's another artist. Like all these features, like, and then let me not forget, man, Shad, like. So give y'all some background on Shad, and he's a big deal. So Shad, in my book, and I don't even care if
Canadian rapper?
Yes.
Shad. Oh, I've been listening to the old Prince. I think he had an album
Old
called
Prince. TSOL, his album in 2012, won a Juno over Drake.
Is that the one with Rose Garden, I think?
Yeah. A Juno is equivalent to a Grammy.
Yeah, I'm about to say Juno Award.
Oh, okay.
He won a Juno over Drake for that album.
Yeah.
What?
In Canada, right?
In Canada.
Yeah.
So Shad, like, I don't care who tells me otherwise. Like, I have a top 5. Right?
Yeah.
There's
top five.
3 rappers, then there's Jay-Z, and there's Shad.
Yeah.
That's how dope he is.
Yeah, I love Shad.
I will be listening
and
to
I
him.
will argue with somebody about like how great and immaculate his writing is, to me, better than Jay-Z. Yeah. But he's also the host of Hip Hop Evolution on Netflix.
Yeah, I watched that.
Him?
Yeah, that's him. That's him.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
So my wife surprised me for my birthday this year. So this is what happened. So late last year, like I was watching Hip Hop Evolution, and I was like, I opened up for Odyssey, met him, and then we did Hopscotch in 2017, and I opened up opened up for him again. We played the same stage, right?
Yeah.
And I was watching Hip Hop Evolution, and I said to my wife, and she recalled it to me when I said it. I said, now I got to meet this nigga.
Yeah.
And she took that as in her mind,
I need to set this up.
I need to make this happen.
Yeah.
And so 2019, birthday's in February, she bought tickets to my home away from home, which is Chicago, to see Shad perform on tour. First time ever seeing him perform.
Yeah.
And was like, you got to talk to him. And so like me and Shad, I went up to him, told him like my experience with his music and all that. And I said, like, you are the GOAT. I said, Jay-Z's the GOAT. I said, but you are the GOAT.
Yeah.
And he was just like, man, like, thank you. And so we talked and we exchanged like information, and the rest, like, he's on the album. Like,
That's fire as fuck.
Yeah. And so like my wife, like when I was rolling out the material for the album, because he's on Peace, the record Peace.
Yeah.
Which I did it strategically because his recent album is called A Story About War.
So now you want to hear him from the other side.
I think so I was like, let me. I want to get him on this record.
Yeah.
And so the song is really special because Daniel produced, with the exception of the bass line. Well, no, all of it is analog. He didn't use a computer to make it. Like he used you ever see those big modular synths that have the wires that you connect?
Yes.
He has a rack and he made the song
like that. God, are you serious?
That's crazy.
Analog drum machine, analog bass, and then he of course he arranged everything, but
Damn, that's crazy. Yo.
Yeah, I think the only thing is he played the Rose progression to sample it, to resample it, but that song is really special.
Yeah.
And then my homie Jans at the end is doing the kind of vocal harmony thing at the end.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Shad is on that song, and so I was bragging about my wife, which one of y'all niggas in hip hop history can say your wife threw you an alley oop to meet your goal and now you on your album?
Yeah.
That is crazy.
You know what I'm saying? So so I can't forget him.
Yeah,
but
shout
from
out.
top thank you everybody who helped me.
Nice.
Yeah, man.
And where can everybody find the album?
It's iTunes, Apple Music, everywhere.
And where can they find you? Most importantly,
I am Pat Jr. Twitter, Instagram. So it's IAMPATJUNIOR. On Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. Facebook is I don't like Facebook like that. But yeah, Facebook.
But you can
find me there anyway.
You can find me there though.
But I'll be on Twitter and Instagram though.
Yeah.
Those are the
So
top
yeah,
two.
man. And I know we probably ran out of time, but we could talk about the alternate universe edition after.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
You want to? You sure?
Yes, let's do it. I'm positive.
Okay.
I got
Yeah,
4
yeah.
minutes.
Got 4 minutes? Okay.
Okay, real quick. So for the listening session, he talked about it. It's the alternate universe edition.
That's what we did the album. The album listening was the alternate universe
gotcha.
version.
Yeah.
So that's not coming out till later 2020.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're getting a different version
So
this time.
here's when I pull out I went to get my master's in creative writing. A lot of people don't know that. I'm a writer before rapping, before producing. I'm a writer. So I wrote a outline script and some of the script for my homie Jay Adams, another artist that you need to check out. Okay. And he created the world. So my mindset was, he said, what if we took it was an alternate universe, because I'm into comic books and stuff. Yeah. Where the same thing, listening party, was happening. The technology was a lot more modern, or a lot more advanced. Yeah. And you described it exactly. My vision was to do almost like you had a theme park almost. Yeah. But it's an exhibit.
Oh yeah, because I did say it's like being at Disney World.
That's exactly you said everything the way I wanted it to be.
He articulated everything that was in your mind.
But there were little Easter eggs. So I wrote some of that. Jay Adams sculpted the world, the sounds and stuff. Yeah. My wife is the AI.
That's her?
Wow.
Her middle name is Jessica. She said Jessica J26. So June 26th is when we got married.
Okay.
Oh,
yeah.
Shit.
So her middle name. So in that universe, she's an AI.
Yeah.
And she goes by her first name, which is Jessica. So
And then your marriage date.
So yeah,
J26.
Said J26. So Jay Adams, the guy who sculpted everything, is the navigator. And I don't want to give too much away.
He's fire,
Wow.
bro.
He's crazy.
Nigga's nice, bro. I got to meet this, bro.
Yeah.
I got to meet
So
him,
he
bro.
crazy good.
But as soon as it started, mind you, Nance is in front of me. I got the headphones on when he introduced literally within the first 30 seconds. I was looking at Nance. I said, I know what I'm doing. I know what I'm getting into at this point. This nigga is putting me in this world, and I'm with it. I'm with it.
That's exactly that. That's what I wanted. I wanted to create an experience even within listening to it, and so There's so much in like I don't want to give too much away.
I can't wait for y'all to hear that one.
Like when I put it out, I don't want to give too much away, but like the whole mindset was like you hear like the exhibit, like you hear like there's a part when he says now we're below sea level, like that one.
I remember that.
So like the whole idea of the album was to introduce you to the rabbit hole, go down the rabbit hole, and before it gets too dark, we're gonna go back up.
And Spice Adams.
And you hear that's the the shot up point. But you'll hear it like on the album. I'm not gonna give it away. We could talk about it later, but you'll hear it, the signs of being higher when you listen, if you didn't catch it. But like that's her glitched out voice. Like she
changed the frequency.
When you hear it, and I'll let you guys hear, I'll play it after we're done. But like when you hear it, it sounds like an AI.
It does.
Computer voice talking. And I told my wife, I said, put your work voice on. And
like
she,
Karen from SpongeBob.
And she executed it.
She killed it
beautifully. So
and that was the first time you guys had collaborated as well too on this album, right? Musically, you and your wife.
Oh no, it's been.
It's
been, but no, like that was the first time we actually wrote together.
Oh, that's what you said. Wrote together. Okay.
Like we wrote together for this album.
Okay.
Like she's before Summer Breeze. There's an interlude. We didn't say
Summer Breeze was my favorite.
We didn't say track 6. But it is track 6, the better interlude. That's me and my wife singing together, and she helped me write some of that. Okay. Yeah, so that was the first time.
That was my favorite song.
Yeah, like so that's the interlude before Summer Breeze. But yeah, man, like later I'm gonna do like a blog and talk about the alternate universe edition in depth and put it out. Yeah. And then let people see the script. Like people can see the script and all. Like I'm gonna lay it all out.
Yeah.
Air it all out.
I wanted to make it exclusively for the album. So man.
Nice, man.
I'm listening.
Yeah, man.
Put thought into it, man. That's what I love.
Real thought, bro.
Thanks, man.
Yeah.
But thank you for coming, bro. For real,
man. Thank you.
Hell yeah.
On the set, on the game.
Y'all are amazing, man.
It's a great episode.
Yeah.
Thank you,
it was.
Man, yo. I hope I didn't do too much talking.
No, man. Because everything you said was needed to be said.
No,
y'all
because
made me feel comfortable, man.
Yeah, that's our job, and that's one of the things.
And
like,
she's the bomb, like
Cherry's a star, man. Cherry's a superstar.
TNT, that's what she,
TNT.
For real, like,
and we already know we putting in work. She's gonna go past us. You know what I'm saying? And we know that.
Don't say that.
We just
they're saying in the talk entertainment world. That's I mean, you're gonna excel with everything. Doing,
with anything,
like, But this particular, like, you do it like,
she goes. Yeah.
Watch out, Wendy Williams. She's coming.
No. Please move her out. I said too much.
But this is the 3 Oak Podcast. Like, comment, share, and subscribe on everything. Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube. Turn on your post notifications so you can check everything out. Go pick up I Thought I Knew by Pat Jr. today. It is available now. Yes. Whatever streaming platform you have, if you type that in. And it's the acronym I Thought I Knew. Well, I'm sure if they spell it all the way out, they'll find it too.
Right, you spell I Thought I Knew, but the hashtag for people that want to like kind of talk about their moments is I.T.I.K, but make sure you put the thinking emoji and the thought bubble emoji.
Gotcha.
That's key.
Yeah, okay.
That's what makes it unique.
Got you. Okay. Yeah, nice. Make sure you do that. But this is the 3 Oak Podcast, and we'll see y'all next week. Peace.
Oh my God, I have to pee.
You just watched we could start over if you'd like.
Hey!
You just watched the 3 Oak Podcast instead of listening to it.
You just watched the 3 Oak Podcast. Okay.
Thank you for watching the 3 Oak Podcast.
Hey, and you should click the subscribe in the box right below.
This guy's a rapper.